All right. So what we just looked at, Jabari L stated that he got a genealogical research document back from Sheikh Maxim Ali Muhammad. And he said from what I think, the genealogical research stated that his family's surname was on the dog's roll. Can you rephrase? Can you read for us exactly, Brother Jabari, what that document says? Can you read that for us? Is it around you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? International Indigenous Society Genealogy Certification. Original Indigenous Moorish Jurisdiction. Indigenous lands of North American continent and the earth. Preliminary certification of Aboriginal tribal lineage. You are of Cherokee Choctaw lineage. Moors. See attached dog's roll surname search. Extended searches are done by our genealogy department. Your search came up positive for the surname Gun, Choctaw, surname Parham, Cherokee. We will have to search the rolls.
Choctaw?
Gun, G-U-N-N.
I'm going to look that up next. So, but the Parham that you know, the name that sounds familiar to you on this one was Emma, but you don't know if Emma's middle initial is E.
Correct.
Class, you're a class of law students, and law is about what you can prove. Has Brother Parham at this time proven, or not even Brother Parham, has Sheikh Maxim and his genealogy department proven that Emma E. Parham, the Cherokee member, is indeed the family member of Brother Jabari L?
No.
Would that stand up in court? Especially for those who came to court that day when they asked us, how do we prove these things? Would that stand up in court?
No.
So if you all would go to the Cherokee Nation website or the Choctaw Nation website, they tell you, should we go there together? Y'all want to go there together?
Yeah.
Okay. This is about what you can prove. I can't let y'all be law students if y'all don't research. If y'all can't research it, y'all can't prove it. Don't say it. Don't do it. Especially don't put it in an affidavit because you'll be up for perjury charges. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Cherokee Nation, I'm trying them first. I might have an application. Hold on. But I'll go to this site first. This is the class y'all wanted. This class we gonna get. I'm about to show y'all how deep the rabbit hole goes with. It's not about showing you that you are a lie. This is about showing you that we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. In the great words of Malcolm X. Cherokee tribe, Cherokee Nation. Where is it at? CherokeeHeritage.org. I think that is it. So this is the official site for the CherokeeHeritage.org. Let me see. And when I see it, I'm gonna know. That's not the one. That's Cherokee Heritage. So that's not Cherokee Nation site. Oh, this is Bing. I hate using Bing. I meant to use Google. Let me go back to Google. That's better than Bing for me. So, Sister Cynthia.
Peace.
Can you explain to them what the court was asking us about how we prove that who's Indian when we were in court, when I was on the stand? Because you witnessed it. So can you explain to them the answer I had to give and why they said we don't stand as that I can't be an expert in that area because we don't have the proof that we need to have. So this is the Cherokee.org is the Cherokee Nation's website. Everybody go to Cherokee.org who's on the computer. Go to Cherokee.org. Hope hunting. Let me go to services. Career, commerce, community education, housing authority. No, come on, computer, you tripping. Tribal citizenship. I'm gonna click on tribal citizenship. There, they give you the pages with the roll number and the names from their perspective. About citizenship. Can y'all see the screen? I'm not sure if y'all can see the screen. Can y'all see the screen? Cherokee.org?
Yeah.
You can see the top part.
All right, that's good enough. So today, the Cherokee Nation is more than 315,000 citizens strong, young and old. And they missed the comma, so I might have to tell them about that. To be eligible for Cherokee Nation citizenship, individuals must provide documents connecting them to an enrolled direct ancestor who is listed on the Dawes Roll with a blood degree. CDIB/tribal citizenship is traced through natural parents. In cases of adoption, CDIB citizenship must be proven through the biological parent to an ancestor registered with the Dawes Roll. How do you prove ancestry? By paperwork. So if you're saying you're Cherokee, according to them, you must prove it. How would you prove it? Anybody on the call? Anybody know how you can prove it? How do you prove who you are to the American government? How do they prove who you are? And your kinship. Anybody who dealt with
a birth record?
A birth record, right?
Correct.
And if they're not alive, then what record would you have for them?
Death certificate.
Death certificate. Thank you. Who said that?
Sister Shira.
Thank you, Sister Shira. So that means that you all need to have your birth certificate to match your parents' birth certificate, or if they're dead, their death certificate and or birth certificate. And then their parents, if they're still alive, you'll go by birth certificate and or birth certificate or some kind of birth record or affidavit. And then their parents, who shouldn't, more than likely are not alive, but if they are, they're hundreds of years old. And bless them if they are, you will use their death certificate, and you will match that way up to the person whose name is on the roll. Correct? So let's go to downloadable forms. Let's look at Cherokee's form and how they look at you when you're trying to say that you're one of the Cherokee. It says here on the page, if you're looking for forms related to Cherokee Nation citizenship, or if you need to update your address, they have a general contact for you to email and to call, which these are the things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Application instructions, certificate of degree, Indian blood application. Or let me go for Cherokee Nation citizenship application. They also have a death affidavit that you can use, and a request for personal records. But we're going to go to the Cherokee Nation citizenship application and see what they request for you to prove who you are. So this is what the court is going to ask for. What is the nation you say you're part of? Provide. Cherokee Nation Registration Department, P.O. Box 948, Tahlequah, Oklahoma. That's where I visited. The capital in Tahlequah. They ask for your last name, first name, date of birth, social security number, physical address, primary phone number. Have you registered before? When did you register? The person who signs the application is required to enclose a copy of his or her state ID or driver's license. Parents must sign for applicants under 18. So it's pretty clean and cut. They didn't ask for any birth certificate on this form. So we're gonna go to another form to see what else they want. And that's certificate of blood degree. So let's go there.
Peace. This is my auntie. I have a question. You know, now, back in the days, a lot of people those records they don't have, or it's been lost or what have you. So what do you do when you don't have all those death certificates or birth certificates to go all the way back to where you need to go?
We go to the death affidavit they have on file. That's why they have a death affidavit on file. You get affidavits from the people who were born before you to sign off to say that you are whatever.
So you're saying that I would have to find somebody,
A great uncle, a great aunt, anybody who was alive at the time you were born, or anybody who's older than you who can tell you these things. They can sign out. They can sign affidavit saying that our family believes this. Yes, they can do that.
Oh, so if you can't go back and pull up all the records that you need to get, because like, for instance, it's a small town in Mississippi, and I do mean a small town in Mississippi, so you know how record keeping went back then.
Oh yeah.
So I would have to find somebody in the family to say, to write up something, an affidavit, and
That's
say
one of the things you can do. They can write an affidavit saying, I know my grandfather, I met my grandfather or grandmother's name is such and such. They were born such and such, and it is believed that this person is of Cherokee heritage.
And that will be sufficient.
It can be, but they can also ask you for more information.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So let's look at this. All portions of the request for certificate degree of Indian or Alaska Native blood must be completed. You must show your relationship to an enrolled member of a federally recognized Indian tribe, whether it is through your birth mother or birth father or both. A federally recognized Indian tribe means the Indian or Alaska Native tribe, band, nation, pueblo, village, or community, which appears on the list of recognized tribes published in the Federal Register by the Secretary of Interior, according to the law 25 USC 479 A1.
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
Can't see the screen.
Okay, let me try to get this up for you. Uh-oh, where is... Okay, let me get this up for you. Can you see it now?
It's up now.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right. So your degree of Indian blood is computed from a lineal ancestor of Indian blood who were enrolled with a federally recognized Indian tribe and whose name appears on the designated base rolls of a federally recognized Indian tribe. You must give the maiden names of all women listed on the request for CDIB unless they were enrolled by their married name. A copy of a birth certificate is required to establish your relationship to parents enrolled with a federally recognized Indian tribe. If your parent is not enrolled with the federally recognized Indian tribe, a certified copy of your parent's birth or death certificate is required to establish your parent's relationship to an enrolled member of an Indian recognized Indian tribe. A federally recognized Indian tribe, but I said it wrong. If your grandparent or grandparents were not enrolled members of a federally recognized Indian tribe, a certified copy of the birth or death certificate for each grandparent who was the child of an enrolled member of a federally recognized Indian tribe is required. Certified copies of birth certificates, delayed birth certificates, and death certificates may be obtained by the State Department of Health or Bureau of Vital Statistics in the state where the person was born or died.
Mm-hmm.
In cases of adoption, the degree of Indian blood of the natural birth parent must be proven. And basically it says, please return your request and supporting documents to the agency for whom you receive services. So you can see from their site and their instructions that I was right about how they look at it. It's about proof. So if you have a name on the roll, the next thing for you to have is proof.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all understand this, right? So other ways to gain this proof, I'll tell you this. You can go to the United States, what's it called? United States, what is it called? I'm about to look it up now. So while I'm looking for this, Jabari L.
Yes.
Do you feel that Sheikh Maxim gave you a correct document? Do you feel they gave you a correct result? Proof?
No.
So case number one, I want you all to start realizing this. Once you find one lie, look for the rest.
Mhm.
So where can you go to prove these things if you don't have the proof? Let me see. From my ancestor research that I did.
Hey, Chief, a quick question.
Peace. Well, we have to start by saying peace and saying your name so people can know who's speaking.
All right, peace. This is Jabariel.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if anything was required to get the copy of a death certificate from your family members?
The same thing, you need to get a birth certificate. Everybody's county
I'm saying, like, for my grandmother or grandfather, how do I obtain their death certificate?
vital statistics.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't need, I would need my birth certificate in order to get their death certificate.
They could ask you for it. You can actually apply online. They may or may not ask you. They're going to ask you to answer the question truthfully, and they'll just ask you if you who are you to this person. So they may just accept your answer under penalty of perjury.
Mhm.
But the under penalty of perjury ain't no joke. So I went to the United States. What is it called? The U.S.
My phone is.
They have records. What? Anybody know what the name of the National Archive? United States National Archive. You go to the United States National Archive and look things up.
I don't know what he wants.
So for instance,
Right.
He woke up at some pizza, I gave him pizza.
somebody needs to mute their phone. So I don't know if you all can see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So I went to the United States Department of Vital Statistics and I got the military record of my ancestor, James Daniel Gardner, who fought in the Civil War and was one of the first recipients of the Medal of Honor. These are free people mixed freely with Native American and married Native Americans in my family back in the day. So I went to go get proof on the United States National Archive and back copies. This is his military record. He got 22 lines of military record. James Gardner. Company descriptive book, age 19 when he joined. Complexion dark, eyes dark, hair dark. Born in Gloucester, Virginia. Occupation, century man. Oh, no, sorry about that, oyster man. So he was a seaman. He did stuff on the sea. I don't even gonna say seaman. Everybody was a seaman at some point.
Mhm.
Anyway, he was an oyster man. He was an oyster man before he joined the United States military. He joined in Yorktown, Virginia in 1863, September 15th, it says here. By whom the witness is something Miller. Gabe Miller, it looks like Gabe Miller, which is probably Gabriel. Or that captain, C-A-P-T. Captain Miller, I apologize, C-A-P-T. Captain Miller, he was in for 3 years. Remarks, you know, you can see all of them. So it gives a pretty good history. So these are one of the ways you can find facts. You can also go to whatever county you know they were born in or they lived in, and you can go to the county genealogical research facility. Most counties have one, actually, or historical research facility. You can go to them too. But they have a pretty good record of his military service. So you need proof of what you say and that this person was actually where they were and who they were. This is the type of things you get for proof. ARNA and Shaker Maxim does not provide you these types of proof. They'll send you back some kind of empty piece of paper with no enrollment numbers, just saying that a name like yours is on the roll. Does anybody know the definition of the word fraud? Anybody? Because if you do, then you will know you've been defrauded. Whenever they send you back a piece of paper saying, and it's slick the way it came back, Jabari L, because it says that your surname is on the dog's roll. It doesn't say that your family member is exactly there. It just says your surname is there. Okay, damn near everybody's surname could be on that roll. But that doesn't mean and have any proof that they have actually done real research to find out if your actual family member is on that roll. They didn't look at death certificates, the names of brothers and sisters, none of that stuff. Here you can see my ancestor. He was reduced from the rank of sergeant July 13th, 1865. You see that? We go by the facts. You see when my ancestor was absent from reporting one day on the company muster roll. You can see where my ancestor was. So when I tell you my ancestor was in the Civil War, can I prove it?
Yeah.
Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So I can prove it because the United States government is the one that signed this saying that he was there. He was a sergeant in the Company 1 of the 36th Regiment of the U.S. Colored Infantry. That's what this says. James Daniel Gardner. Now I can show you proof of how he's some kin to me too. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So this is the type of history research you all should be able to do for yourselves first, and then you should be able to do this for other nationals. So this is what I mean about being teams of Tamazight. We don't make up stuff. We have to prove it. It even says how much he got paid back then, which is $7 and something, which I guess was a lot of money back then. He was absent in November, December 1865, absent for sick. He was sick in the hospital, it says here. So I can go through this all day. I don't know what this matter of honor thing is, but you can Google, if you Google James Daniel Gardner of Virginia, or of the the 36th Regiment U.S. Colored Infantry, you'll find my ancestor. It's actually books written about him. Here on this page, it says in March and April of 1866, he was absent because he was in confinement since March 29th of 1866 in Brazos, Santiago, Texas. So they put him in the brig. So things of this nature is what I'm pointing out to you all. Are y'all get what I'm going? Y'all got people telling y'all this, that, and the other with no proof. And then the courts ask for proof, and then everybody ends up in trouble. Because they cannot prove what they're saying they are. Does anyone else have anything from Ali Muhammad or Sheikh Mexim saying that there's something that they can't prove? Anybody else?
Peace. Yeah, it's Jasir Ali from Philadelphia.
Yes, sir, Jasir.
There was a couple surnames that I gave them. I don't have the actual certificate in front of me. It's at my office. But you know, there was a couple names on there that I haven't been able to find yet.
Well, you can go to that to the website again, accessgenealogy.com, which is a free website. Or you look up your family name. Know who their brothers and sisters are if they pop up, so you can, you know, at least prove this is the person. Other than that, you've just been given some garbage.
Indeed.
So this is what we're dealing with. This is why people look at us like we're frauds. This is what the court brought up when I was sitting on the stand. Can you prove this man is Native American? Can you prove this? Can you prove that? This is why we have people take genealogy tests to help out the situation. So if you can't prove this, then should I be giving you an ID saying you're Native American?
Not at all.
So if I can't prove you're Native American and I can't get you your status through that, what can we get you your status through? What do you know about yourself? Through God? So through your God, your religion. That's an easier thing to prove, correct?
Yes.
Is there a dog's roll to God?
No.
There any roll to God other than your family roll and your family genetics?
Not at all.
So this is why I tell you all to go through God. Because it's easier to prove and it's less questionable.
Mhm.
Who was there? Who was the witness with Abraham when Abraham talked to God? Who was the witness?
No one.
Who was the witness when Prophet Muhammad talked to the angel Jibril?
No one.
Who was the witness when Jesus walked in the wilderness 40 days and 40 nights?
No one.
Who was the witness when Jesus was in the garden praying to God?
Nobody.
Nobody. Who was the witness for any prophet in religious history to become who they became before God? Who was the witness?
Satan.
Okay, I can give you that for the 40 days. I can give you that for the 40 days, 40 night ritual. I can give you that much. But now, and that's only because the Bible tells us the devil was there with Jesus.
Right.
But then that makes you have to figure out who was this devil at that time.
Mm-mm.
That's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
And why was the devil with Jesus the whole way through of this phase of 40 days and 40 nights?
Peace. It was the government, the devil.
Was it? I have another definition for devil.
Which is?
Same definition you got. There are 5 names to the devil from what y'all taught, even though Bajou Ali taught that. Devil, Satan, Lucifer, dragon, and beast.
Mm.
Each is an office of the act of each. Devil means adversary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the office of adversary, or in court, it would be the prosecutor.
Peace, Chief.
Beast.
Brother Solution. Have you heard the name Lucifer?
Yeah, I heard it. What about it?
That is a name that is referred as the fallen angel in the Bible.
What is
That
an angel?
What we know as that became what we know as the devil.
What is an angel? No, but Ali gave you a definition of angel. All y'all last name Bay and L should be able to answer this. What's an angel?
A protector.
That's not the definition Noble Ali gave. Noble Ali have a book. Circle Seven Quran is one of the books where he described the actions of the angels. The 100 plus keys is the book where he actually gives you a direct definition of devil, dragon, Satan, beast, everything. He gives you a definition. So somebody pull up Noble More Scientific of America keys. See, that's what y'all get when y'all be claiming these Bays and L's. If you're going to claim it, you better have that history behind it.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Peace. I can hear you.
Thank you. I'm just learning how to use this Zoom. I didn't mean to interrupt the conversation.
That brother Zari?
Yes, it is. How's it going, Chief?
Peace to you. All right. Can anybody pull up the 100 keys of the More Scientific of America on their computer? I want to get a definition, since y'all have the names of the prophet that Ali Muhammad gave y'all, who used to be Ali Muhammad Bey. So that means y'all should know who the devil is by definition, or what an angel is by definition as well, because Noble Ali did define them. Where's my book? Do I have that in my book? I do have my book. Where's my book? It's in my family book. My children left, so I can't send them to go get it. Let me see here. My book is in my family tree book. So I can't go get my book with my 100 plus 1 keys. But an angel is a messenger of God by definition of Noble Drew Ali. Devil, dragon, Satan, beast, and Lucifer all have a definition different. Their offices, such as the prosecutor. If you're an adversary or a prosecutor, you are a devil. So, for instance, in the case against Sheikh Maxim, Ali Muhammad, and Aboriginal University, I would be the devil to them because I am prosecuting them. So the office of prosecutor is in my hand. It's not about what's good or evil. It's about what action you're taking with those names. So Noble Ali is trying to show you who the devil is. Who's the devil? Because Noble Ali mentioned the higher self and the lower self. Since y'all want a lesson, I'm gonna give you a lesson I got from being a member of the Moorish Temple of America, Temple number 9, the temple where Noble Ali was last at. So you have higher self and lower self within yourself. So if you have a lower self, what would you call that?
Devil.
So where's the devil at?
So.
There's a physical devil, and then there's a devil of an action within yourself. You got positive charge and negative charge to yourself for your atoms, correct?
Correct.
Right.
If the devil is just a negative charge, then everybody has a devil. Now, Lucifer means light bearer. It's the office of the light bearer amongst the angels. So when you being a smart person, you being intellectual, are you being a light bearer? Just a question. It's just a question, y'all.
Check, yes.
Don't be scared of the devil that you possess, because you possess a devil as much as you possess a God. There has to be a balance.
Peace, yes, because knowledge is you consider the light bearer.
Right? Do you all have white people's blood in your family?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So is there a devil in you?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to have a
Be
balance.
careful with what you say with words, and study and understand what they mean. This is just a lesson off the lesson of genealogy, but it's also on the lesson of genealogy because in your genes are God. The capacity for devil is also there. So who do you think brought the devil with Jesus in that 40 days and 40 nights he was in the wilderness?
He did.
Jesus did. Who do you think brought the devil into the ark when Noah and his sons was in the ark and the devil was in the ark with them?
They did. Yin and yang. Yin and yang. Good and bad.
Thank you, sir. Gotta have a balance. So don't be scared, y'all. If y'all want to ask real questions from real priests, we gonna have real answers. The question would be, are you ready for real answers? And yes, I am somewhat of a real priest in training. But I know this much.
I got that.
I'm thoroughly in Christianity.
I got the answer from the 101s if you want it still.
What you mean 101?
From Noble Drew Ali's teachings of the definition of angel.
What's an angel?
An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
Thank you. You gave the direct one. Now, what number is that? That's 3 or 2?
38.
That's another one with that in it.
That's 38 on this one.
Question number 1 is who is Allah, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Question number 2 is what?
Who is Allah? Allah. Who made Allah is number 1.
Who made Allah?
Yeah, who made Allah is number 1 and who is Allah is number 2.
Okay, I can slip. You know, it's been a while anyway, but I know what I know. So an angel is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh then.
Correct.
What are you?
According to Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali. So what are you all?
Angels manifest in the flesh.
So are you an angel?
Yes, sir.
According to the definition. Could be.
Yes,
What number
we
you
are.
want to be? Now, what number is devil? Let's find out what devil is. Where's the devil at, brother L?
Peace, Kais, we're devils as well as angels.
Yeah, but I want him to get the definition from the Moorish Science Temple as what devil is. He has it in that 100 keys he got. You have to memorize to where our names Bays and L's. Hold on 1 second, brother Jabari. To where the name Bays and L's, we had to memorize that book. Now, since I'm not 100% active anymore, I don't have to know it like I used to. But this is what happens when y'all wear these names. With the name comes the information. You either a fraud or you're not. To not be a fraud, if you tell me your name is Bayer L, I'm going to expect you to know some of this book. some of these 100+1 questions and some answers. For my Bays, L's, and Ali's. Because y'all want to wear the name, do what you got to do to keep it. Where's devil at, Brother L?
It says on 65, what is the devil? What is the devil sometimes called?
Uh-huh.
And it says the lower self.
The lower self. So can you be a devil and an angel?
Of course, there's good and bad in all of us. You have the power to do righteousness, or you have the power to do unrighteousness.
But I just want you to understand why y'all wearing the names Bays and L's, what's expected of you. That's all I'm saying. Because we talk about genealogy. We're talking about nationality. We're talking about what you were taught to do. What you allowed yourself to do. You allowed yourself to wear the name L, Bay, and Ali. With that comes these understandings. You must record, remember, and act out that 100+1 keys. So there's an extra key that's not even in that book. That was our training when I was a member, an active member. I'm still a member. You forever a member. Once you become a member, you're still a member. Being an active member is different. So, your names that he gave y'all don't have an understanding of them. Your genealogical research that you got, you don't have an understanding of that neither. So, by definition, with you all being in training with law, whether it's universal law, spiritual law, or on the record laws of this nation, do you have the proper proof to prove the use of your name and the use of your nationality?
Nope.
So now those who've been asking me for IDs, now you can see why you don't have them in the way you want them. Because I, as a priest, cannot indulge in fraudulent behavior. And as somebody who studies and teaches law, I know better and know better research than to give you something that don't belong to you. So when you find yourself arrested 20 times for using a name you're not supposed to have, why do you think you keep getting arrested for it? Just a question. So let's go back. Who's next of the surname search? Any questions, comments, concerns on those subjects of the use of Bay L, what's expected of you, and of the use of your family background that you got back from Sheikh Mexon?
I got a quick question, Chief. How does self-determination that you have the right to self-determination? Jabariel.
Okay, peace, Jabariel.
What does you have the right to self-determination mean then if you have to prove something by a piece of paper?
What is it, having the right to self-determination?
Yeah.
Well, your self-determination should still be based on fact. So who is yourself? You got a higher self and a lower self. Who are you naming? And what is the fact behind it? So you saying that you should be able to call yourself white whenever you want to?
Exactly.
That's not true, because you're a law researcher right now. In this class as a student, you're a law researcher. As a researcher, if you cannot search out the facts on that, then it's not a fact. There is case law as to who is white in this nation. So the question becomes, do you fit that? Does your self-determination fit what you're saying you are? That's a hell of a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something for y'all to think about. That's why my name is Chief Standing Elk. And Sister Cynthia.
So, but yeah.
Sister Cynthia. Sister Cynthia. That woman is always busy doing something. Brother Amare.
Yeah.
Did I walk out of that courtroom?
Did you walk out of the courtroom? Yeah.
Did I answer their question as to who I believe I was?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel they meant to arrest me or set me up?
I think while we were there, they attempted to for sure, but it didn't happen because you proved who you were. Ultimately,
This is what you all need to do to have proper standing in who you're saying you are and what your status is. But Amare, what mainly did I say what did I say repetitively my status wasn't anchored in? Or who?
and God,
In God. And what does she do? What does the prosecutor do every time I brought God up?
a lot of times she just tried to skip over what you were saying and move on to something else.
Which means she couldn't touch it, right?
Yes, sir.
No jurisdiction over God, y'all.
Especially since they have that in their courts on the wall. In God we trust.
God we trust. It's right on the wall, right? You've seen it, right?
Yep.
And I opened up saying in God we trust, correct?
Yes, sir.
Y'all see where we going with this?
Peace.
Peace.
It's Rashid from Milwaukee.
Peace, Brother Rashid.
Yeah, I was in Dallas, Texas courtroom just the other day, and I noticed on their walls it don't have "In God We Trust" on there. And I remember back in the day when I was in that same courtroom, we had these big old pictures of Moses, 10 Commandments on it. It's gone. So they taking God out, you know, at the court of everything. I understand why you say we must be established now and who we say we are, because these people are trying to get rid. Well, when they passed same-sex marriage, they pretty much got rid of the Bible anyway. This ain't been legal.
Thank you, dear brother. So if they took God out of their courts, who could bring God into their courts?
We can. Personal trial.
Yeah, you can. You carry God. You are the vessel for God on this manifestation. You carry God. So the court don't know until you bring it up. You can bring it up right on the record. And they're going to try to avoid the hell out of it if they can, or the heaven out of it. Just like I asked all the question, who took the devil into the wilderness with Jesus? You carry both. You can give somebody hell or you can give them heaven. So for one, you got the capacity for both. God gave you free will. So self-determination, somebody needs to mute their background because it's very loud. I can pick you out, I can pick you out too. So if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Thank you. So you got the capacity, Brother Jabari L, to be under God, which they can't touch. Or you keep playing with them with saying you're a Native American that you can't prove. Or you keep playing with them saying that you got paperwork from this nation that you can't prove as a nation. You can play with that all day. They're going to play back with you. But what's going to happen? That's the question. Are you going to win? And Brother Jabari L, you're one of my favorite brothers because they locked you. They can get at you 5 times if I didn't count wrong. And I told you to clean up your background and your straw man and to be born again. Like Jesus, like Muhammad, the prophet, like Moses, like Abraham. Abraham's first name was Abram. And then he had a name change to Abraham. His public name was Abraham. Jesus was born with the name Emmanuel in the book of Matthew. The next verse, when his father woke up after the angel said, call him Emmanuel, he woke up and said his name is Jesus Christ in the public. There's a reason behind that. Priest of law is where I would teach y'all why and how to work these things. There's a process to this school, and it's for a purpose. I am a trained priest in several different faiths. I've been initiated into these faiths. Peace. Question?
No, I just peace. This is Mari from Region 4. Just basically in summing up saying something that's been said many times before. It's a game. It's a game to them, and the problem is that we don't. One, a lot of people don't realize that they're in the game, and two, you have those people that are this either ignorantly, right, unknowingly, ignorantly, or purposely misleading everybody else to keep them in the game. It's back to the movie, like we keep saying. It's the movie Matrix. It's all the same thing, and no one seems to want to do the things that need to be done. But that's why they call it work. Just like we work to get here, we work to be born through our mother. We work everything that back to the catchphrase. Anything worth having, you have to work for it. You have to fight for it. Life itself is friction. It's a fight. So that's all.
Thank you, dear brother. So are y'all getting where we going with all this? I'm showing you proof of what the courts will ask you when you have these IDs, what you need to know to back them. And you need to understand that you're not living in a fraud. Because I had to go to the county for a few of you all. And I had to go to court for a few of you all. To where they ask you for this proof. I went to the court to visit one of you all, and they just blatantly turned me around and said that person's not in this jail. They refused to recognize the name the person had. Even after Ali's paperwork was presented to them. So what do you do about that? Anybody? Y'all welcome to tell me. What do you do about that? How do you correct your status in that situation? They already got the paperwork. They don't give a damn because they said he didn't get anything authenticated. All he got was authenticated was the seal of someone else. There's no paperwork that's authenticated for Shaker Maxim. I can tell you what is authenticated. Guess what's authenticated, y'all?
Tamazight.
Tamazight is authenticated. IRS, state of Illinois, state of Georgia, state of Louisiana, state of North Carolina. Who else got the stuff opened up? Peace. Somebody had a question, comment?
You're
going in and out, brother, whoever you are. Yeah, we cannot hear you. So say peace when you come back in and we can be heard. Say peace and we'll address that again. Anyone, while the brother's getting his microphone together, anyone want to give us another surname that we can look up, or do you all get the picture? In this class, I want you to understand how to do genealogical research. So I told you to go to accessgenealogy.com for a quick look, or you can go to the Native American nation that you think you're from and look on their pages. But you know you need proof, right? So what do you all know you need to do? What is proof of your kinship to someone on the road? Class, I need to hear from you all that you understand what proof is.
A birth certificate or a death certificate?
That links to the name, correct?
Correct.
All right, so y'all got that, not from me, but it came from where? The sources, the nations that you were claiming. This is what they're asking you for. So when it comes up in court, what do you think the court's gonna ask you for?
That same proof.
So y'all see the difference in teachings between Tamazight Temple University and Aboriginal University?
Yes, sir. Hey, Steve, this is Jasir. Got a quick question. There's a Dr. Claude Anderson.
Yes, I know of him.
He spoke about how there were Europeans who paid $5 to get on the roads back around that time. So if our ancestors were is from here but didn't make the roads, what other route do we try to validify our lineage.
Affidavit. You get an affidavit from your family members as to who didn't make the roll, and get an affidavit that they were indeed what they were. And that's what comes in on what's called historical research methods. They teach you about primary resources, secondary resources, and tertiary resources. In those teachings, a person who lived at the time of the signing of those things are primary resources.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can link to a secondary resource who wasn't living then, but they witnessed the primary resource say that I am Cherokee, and you have that as proof, and the burden of proof is on the prosecutor to prove that that's not right, and they can't put an affidavit up against yours. Yours is what stands. It's called best evidence rules. Best evidence rules. The court term. I want y'all to write it down. Best evidence rules. It gives you the rules of evidence. Which evidence trumps what evidence? It's a spades game. So y'all as black folks and families of black folks who our families play spades religiously and bid whisk religiously. In that game, what you learn is what card rules another. So in that same sense, that's how court works. What evidence do you have that would be an ace of spades versus whatever they have that's just a deuce of diamonds? Then you cut. So I can make it that simple for you. Peace.
It's Brother Solution. I had another thought, and I wanted to share it while we was going through the information. You could actually go in, and if you could get the proof that the rolls are not as accurate, and if they're not as accurate as they, deem them to be, like there are a lot of people that have been a part of the rape and the genocide, and they can't prove that they're 100% accurate. You can prove that that's not a good measure of proving your genealogy through those rolls. Do you agree?
I can partially agree, because the question becomes this: have you seen that work? They know those rolls are not totally right. Y'all know that? Y'all don't think they know that? They know about $5 Indians. They know. I met with, when I went to Cherokee Nation, Oklahoma at the time, I directly interviewed the tribal Secretary of State, what would be the Secretary of State, a white woman, last name Long Stinnett, at the time. And I saw the chief. He's white as hell. These people white. And that's because in 1906, the last year of the Dawes Roll, the president at the time, declared by executive order that the president of the United States gets to choose the leaders of each tribe. So you think they didn't put white people in charge of that? So these are the things y'all must research. You cannot accept things for face value when you're a Tamazight student. There's no such thing as face value acceptance. You have to prove. When you learn to bring new nationals in and you're deciding between if you're going to give them an ID card as a national or if you're going to give them a religious missionary ID, you have to know the easiest one to prove is the religious missionary one. Other than that, for tribal, you want proof from them. You don't want to be in fraud. You don't want to be like Aboriginal University. So I want you to look at this screen. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, I can.
This is a court exhibit of Cherokee freedmen, which are the black folks whose ancestors were slaves, suing the Cherokee Nation at the Supreme Court level. I follow the case. I study and research that case to see what's happening. I have exhibits from these people. Department of Interior. I don't know what this exhibit 3 would be. Department of Interior. They're talking about the elections in the Cherokee Nation and how they blocked black folks out of the election of the Cherokee Nation, and these exhibits that I have. If you read the Treaty of Dancing Rabbits Creek and the Treaty of Hopewell, you can read in those two treaties, whereas the Cherokee Nation and the Choctaw Nation in 1866 signed stated they would free their slaves and make them citizens. And here's the referendum on that. Referendum Article XV, which I guess is 14. X is 10, I think V is 4. Section 10 of the Cherokee Nation Constitution should be stricken to abolish the requirement of federal approval of amendments or new constitutions of the Cherokee Nation. That's not that important. I thought that was something else. I'll go through these exhibits later. But I have these cases. So I was researching this stuff before I even got into ARNA to see what's happening, how they're treating our people, how they look at our people in these government, because the Cherokee Nation is a government. And how are they treating the people when you come from a background that's of African ancestry? These things you want to know. While you're claiming these things, these people own slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So it means a lot. So this class is about you learning how to do these things, how to research them, and before another one of you asks me for an ID very quickly, you best be able to prove that you are part of that ID, because if someone calls you into question, the question is, are you going to be able to prove who you are in that status that you're telling them you are? If you go by the paperwork you got from Shaker Maxim, can you prove it? The answer is no, so I'll have to wait for you all to say it, but I'm just going to wait to see who's going to entertain me and say yes. Yes, what they gave me from Shaker Maxim and Aboriginal University is proof that I am indeed Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot, whatever I am. Shaker Maxim cannot prove who you are. You can. And it's your job to do so. And then when you bring someone else into the nation and you call them Native American, we got Yusufu, we got Brother Yenzu, all kinds of people on here who are of straight African ancestry, with the exception of Yusufu and his brother Yenzu, because they are from Liberia, and which Liberians came from American continent. So some of them actually do have Native American background. But then you have Ghanaians as well in North Carolina who are members of ARNA, and a lot of more Africans who directly know their kinship, have always been in Africa, yet this man and that part of the nation named these people Native Americans. Y'all don't find a problem with that?
Mm-hmm.
That's not just fraud, that's fucking fraud. This is the nation we were a part of. That many lies, on top of lies. A nation that will make people be something that they're not, and accept it and give them IDs saying that they're this when they're not. We'll give them IDs saying that we have the authority to do so because we represent these people, when the government, and I've shown you like 9 court orders where the government has said, dude, we ain't never heard of y'all. ARNA was the name given to the International Society of Indigenous Sovereigns in 2014. It is now 2016, which means ARNA is only 2 years old, which means ARNA never got sent to anyone, notice to anyone. And many of you all want me to give you an ARNA ID. You can have it, but you're going to take what comes with it. I'm probably not going to give it to you for real, to be honest with you. Thank God. It's easier for me to say that, and this is the way we helped out Brother Yusufu. But Yusufu was a Muslim who teaches other Muslims. So all we have to do is verify that he's a Muslim, teaches other Muslims. The way you verify a Muslim is a Muslim is by what's called a Shahada, where they say, I bear witness that Allah is God and there's no other God but Allah, and that Muhammad, the prophet, is his messenger. Or in Arabic, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. That's how you verify who's a Muslim. It was that easy. A Christian, I accept Jesus Christ in my heart as my Lord and personal Savior. Or I've been baptized at the Ebenezer Second Church of the largest church in Atlanta, Georgia, of the largest preacher I've ever seen in my life. And this is my certificate of baptism. That easy. Proof. By a verified, authenticated entity that's registered with somebody's government. That easy. Or I, Tamazight Temple, being a temple before God, has recognized and has witnessed this person's acceptance of their God. And we have certified that they have accepted their God and the mission of serving that God and that God's people. Because we are recognized and authenticated, they're going to accept it. That easy. Tribally, I got to have birth certificates. I got to have family names, years of birth, all kinds of stuff. As far as getting tax exemption, it's easier to give you a certificate from a religion, because a certificate from your tribe, if y'all recall from class, for a tribe to get property taxes removed, the federal government must be your trustee, which means you went through the BIA, who has a three-pronged process stating that you either went through an act of Congress to be recognized, federally recognized, you went through a court to be recognized, or you went through act of Congress, court, or the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Those are three ways. That's harder to prove than you to just say, listen, I serve God, and I live here to serve God in this place, and I serve God, so therefore your sales taxes while I'm serving God should not stand. That's easy. So ask yourself why you're choosing the hard way. Why? So any other questions, comments, concerns on genealogical research, the Tamazight way? Anybody have any other questions of what they can search? We talked about the National Archives. Y'all should have wrote that down. Y'all should have written down the county, any county's historical society. Y'all should have written down the county, the vital statistics. Y'all should have written down the county historical society. And I've gone to all these people to search my descendants out. Military records, marriage certificates, or a family Bible that is old enough can be dated that has your family members written in it. It's just as good as an affidavit. And if, for those who've ever applied for a passport, you notice to be so because it's on the passport application that they will accept a family member's affidavit or a family Bible in the place of a birth certificate. Am I wrong? Any questions, comments, concerns on genealogical research so far? I know some of y'all concerns are, Dig, I've been duped. Y'all got no questions. Some of y'all thinking, I can feel some of y'all thinking hard. I can feel some of y'all heart beating right now like, damn. I done told all these people I was this. Now I don't know what to do. So, class, what is your cure to anything that might be wrong with your paperwork? What is the cure?
Peace, this live.
Peace.
Form 56.
That's one of the cures. That's the cure to change your businesses around, yeah. But what is your cure to the fact that a lot of you all said that you're a Native American don't have enough proof?
Don't use
You got all these exemptions and these businesses you want to be exempt. What is the cure for that?
Do a new trust under Tamazight.
Okay. But if you do a trust under Tamazight, what are we looking at to make sure that you are exempt?
DNA testing.
DNA testing is one.
Peace. Affidavit, family tree, in God.
In God. That's what I was looking for. In God. Tamazight is going to look to how do you serve your God? Why would we do that?
Peace is easier.
It's easier. Remember I told you all, Jesus went to court. 3 courts. Jesus went to 3 courts. The first court, Pontius Pilate asked him who he was. He said who he was on the record. Pontius Pilate let him go. He said, I don't got no jurisdiction with this dude. This man is a brother of high standard who knows his background. I ain't touching him. Y'all do y'all own dirty work. I ain't touching him. That also was after the fact that not only did he know his bloodline, and I'm talking about Jesus, but let me ask y'all the question for history. If you're a traveling person in the world, anywhere, in the days where there was no passports, what was your passport? It was a king's or a queen's seal was one way for you to get a passage. But if you didn't have a seal, you were traveling for work, what would be your passport to get past the gatekeepers at the ports? What's your passport?
God, to say you're a minister, correct?
No, back then, if you told you was a Christian minister, what happened to you?
Oh, no, you got, that was it.
Get your head chopped off.
All right, so when y'all first meet a human being, what do?
State your name.
You state your name. What else do? You walking into an office for a job interview. You saying hello to somebody. They called you in. What do? In America.
Introduce yourself.
Paperwork.
Shake hands.
You shake hands. So what was your past back in the day? Your handshake. Your handshake.
Yeah.
Where do you think masonry came from? So what do you think Jesus did when he met Pontius Pilate? He said his name and his lineage. He gave him a grip. And dude got out of his way.
A grip of what?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I can say this much. What is his letters? What are the letters to Jesus? What is Jesus' letters to his name? What is his initials? Anybody? What are the initials to Jesus? What the Bible tell you his name was? His public name. Not Emmanuel. What was his public name? To that man called Yeshua.
Yeshua.
That wasn't his public name, though. What was his public name in that Bible? What do they call him?
Jesus of Nazareth.
That's one of the names they call him, but mainly, what's the name you see the majority of?
Christ.
Christ.
So
Jesus Christ.
What are his initials again?
Let's see. JC.
Okay, so that's for the person who asked me what handshake he gave. That's for you, sir. Now, this probably went over some of y'all heads. Don't worry about it. Priest of law, you'll get it by then. So, at any rate, accept your ministry before God. Dealing with a government entity changes everything. It has always done it, and it still does it to this day. Jesus gave you a prime example of how to enter a court, what to say, and how to walk up out of there. Prophet Muhammad did the same thing. I can take it out of Christianity and put it into Islam. I can take it out of Islam and put it into Haru chasing down Set and how he traveled to chase Set down. Same story. I can tell you how Buddha and the other Bodhis, Gautama Siddhartha, one of the Buddhas and the other Buddhas and the other Bodhis, how they traveled. Nobuju Ali actually put it in his book, Circle 7 Quran. He actually told you how they traveled and how he traveled and what he had to do to get past certain people. Y'all gotta start learning how to research and how to see things with all eyes, third eye included. So preach the law is last because it's meant to open up your third eye. It's meant to reveal things to you that's been in front of your face the entire time that you missed over. It's meant to talk to you about the court case of Moshe, or Moses, and Aaron in the court of Pharaoh. It's meant to tell you about the court of the prophet Muhammad and the city of Yathrib, which became Medina, versus the case of the city of Mecca. It's meant to tell you the case of Confucius versus his nation and several other court cases that have been in your face for years of your life and you never realized what they were trying to teach you. In each case, they claimed either the universe or its creator and were able to walk out. And were exempt. So again, I can provide you several proof that God exempts you if you accept God. Tamazight will assist you when you accept God. We're not here to give you a free break or to do all that other stuff. We actually are here to meet you all to help you see who you are and to accept your role as a vessel containing a God that's trying to travel this earth. Don't matter if you're male or female. Everybody contains God. It does matter how you act because you could be that devil of a God or you could be the angel of a God. So, your genealogy, you are akin to God. Jesus dropped genealogy. When they asked Jesus, are you the son of man? Pontius Pilate said, are you going around fraudulently saying you are the son of man? Where's your proof? Jesus did what any tribal member would do. Tribal members in their name contain their family lineage. But every time you open up a Bible or a Quran, you would notice that the prophet has his lineage right there. The prophet had to memorize his lineage too. As a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, if I'm traveling and another Kappa sees me with Kappa letters on, they're going to ask me who I am, where am I from? I have to be able to answer them with a lineage. As a priest, I need to do the same. If you're an African priest, you got to do the same thing. Ain't nobody ask you for no damn ID. Who made you what you are? Where were you made that at? What did you go through? Same thing for Masons. Same thing for Christians back in the day. Because you were being penalized for being a Christian back in Jesus' day. You're being chased down, killed, several different ways. You had to have a sign. You had to have a grip. You had to have some lineage and knowledge so they can see that you're not a spy, an eavesdropper, or somebody faking and being a fraud. So apparently, Pontius Pilate knew the answers to the questions Jesus had to answer because he let him go.
Peace, Mikael.
Peace.
I was just I was thinking about something. I was talking over with somebody else, and again, like how you said, the answers are right in front of our face, right? So these movies, right? Here. Let me do this first. I always say that there's more to the catchphrases than the catchy words, right? So we say like they couldn't see the forest for their trees, and that's because the trees that we're looking at was the forest. Well, also like in the movie The Devil's Advocate, we look at it like, okay, yeah, it was a good movie, and the name, The Devil's Advocate. Who was the Devil's Advocate? Well, Keanu Reeves was the advocate. So like who, like you said, who brought the devil into the desert with Jesus? Well, Jesus, because it was his self. Life is all about duality. Everything is duality. So I'm sorry for interrupting. Continue. I'm just tripping out. That's all.
Oh, it's cool, bro. It's cool. Tamazight Temple University was invented by Tamazight Temple, which was invented by God. Which is what I said in court. So it has a ecclesiastical authority, just like the Catholic Church. and the Pope. And in that position, the government knows you can deal with them a whole nother way that they're not ready for. Or they're ready for it, but they don't want to deal with it. I'll say it that much. So, having been initiated into several things gives you a knowledge base of how to deal with things and the things that can help people. I've never had as much help in my life as I've had since I started acknowledging my ancestors and acknowledging the forces that help us live and acknowledging the God that created them. With that, my fortune has increased. And that has been the only way. The same thing for you all, but you got to realize you can't do it by yourself neither. Even Jesus went to go and find, Jesus knew who to pick. He picked a doctor, a tax collector, a scribe, two sons of Zebedee, which Zebedee was a rich man and a boat owner. Jesus himself was a carpenter. I forgot what Judas did. Iscariot. I forgot what his job was, but he was a priest as well. Oh, he picked a revolutionary too. He picked a team. He picked the A team, which means he knew his mission. He picked the right people for a mission. He knew he was going to travel. So why does smart man, being a carpenter, knowing he's finna travel, pick two guys who had a rich father who owned a bunch of boats? Was that a coincidence? I don't know, but you got to travel. Then he did these travels. He had to get past these tax collectors or these what do they call them when you go to the port? The people who checking out what you got. They like tax collectors. They are the port authority people. They had a name. The position.
Customs.
Who?
Customs.
Customs. Matthew was a customs agent. So this man got two people who got a rich father who can run boats. He's a carpenter. In case the boats get broken, he can fix them.
Well, that's because he's Jesus, and he knew the correct people to look for.
Well, it's a deeper answer than that. He had the plans from his birth. He knew what to do. I mean, he had 33 priest kings come to meet him at birth to give gifts for what he was going to do. Because if you look at the 3 gifts that they mentioned that were given, if you knew their function, you will understand what happened later. So the plans were given already, right there in your face. It was right in your face. He knew where to run to when he had to run to Egypt. He knew to go to Egypt. But he was a baby, so that means his parents knew where to go. Who told his parents where to go? And I got another question for you. Why did he give his parents gold as one of the gifts? You got frankincense, myrrh, and gold were the 3 gifts. People, a family about to be on a run and travel, you gave them gold. Why would that be? You telling me what no plans?
They needed finance. They needed money to live.
So somebody knew a plan, didn't they?
And the wealth, that's right.
Okay. Y'all, as readers of God's law, need to be able to read God's laws.
Please, Chief, the gold represents royalty.
It represents royalty, but the mission was he had to travel. He needed something. They didn't work like that. And his mother was actually rich. Mary was rich. Let y'all didn't research that. So what I'm teaching you in priesthood law, this is an early class of priesthood law. What I'm trying to teach you is to use your third eye to see things. We have seen his star in the east and have come to worship. You got 33 kings, priest kings, who have seen his star in the east and come to worship. They knew where to find him. In the Dogon tribe, or today's Mr. Jew, that would be called a cosmologist. Reading the chart. We saw his chart and we knew where he's going to be. Y'all got to learn how to read. Because in every law is the truth somewhere. Laws of man are made off of laws of God. Or as Christianity would say, on earth as it is in heaven. And Judaism. I can take that and I can change the story. I can remove Jesus out the story of Isa, and I can replace it with Prophet Muhammad, who went from his tribe in Mecca, because he was a tribal member of one of the most powerful tribes in Mecca. And he traveled to the city of Yathrib, organized that city, and ended up traveling back to Mecca to peacefully take it over and convert them all to Islam. And then the world.
Peace, Mikael.
Peace.
The three things, look cloudy. So just, I was gonna say another thing that this relates to is your health. Like the three gifts given to him are actually the things that we should be ingesting into our body on a daily basis, because they relate to different parts of our body that opens up different, like frankincense. Frankincense deals with the aroma smell. Your memory is linked to what you smell, and which is also linked to your lymphatic system, or linked to your immune system or defense system. Everything is how you look at it. That's all.
Well, this world, thank you, brother. None of you all are wrong. I can't tell you what's right. I can tell you what I can see on another level. If you live in a three-dimensional level, what's dimension 1 and dimension 2? So if frankincense, myrrh, and gold mean this on one dimension, that means there are 2 other dimensions of what else it means. So it means that you're not wrong. It just means that you see on the level you see on. And so I can attest to what you're saying, but then you will have to learn that back in that day, if you ever read any of the Tanakh, a Hebrew text, or the text of Kemet, you will also learn that frankincense, which is still used today in the Catholic churches, well, that's what they burn in, is frankincense. Frankincense is used to raise the consciousness up to the heavens. It's what they pour on the heads to anoint priests or to baptize people. It's been the same oil that's been poured on prophet after prophet right in front of your face, and you didn't get it. Gold was the same part of a thing paid for passages. That was people called tithe. Tithing is not for everyday life. Tithing is for times of war, to get past somebody in a time of war, or just to get past somebody and survive. So, and it has a deeper meaning than that as well, but y'all as researchers need to research. Stop accepting just the face value. No, accept the face value, but know that's not the end all be all. And know that you can convert anything or transform anything in your spirit and mind that you want. And so let's get back to this law thing in these cases. When you utilize God, like they do when they put "In God We Trust" on their court walls, or when they have you swear on their Bibles, you got the keys, as Future would say. I don't know if y'all heard that rap. I got the keys, keys, keys. That's one of my favorite raps. We do have the keys. That's what I was saying in my head when I went to court, said at that stand. I got the keys. Waiting on y'all questions. Come on. And they like, you walked into this pit of snakes. We about to eat you up, dude. Like, I've been there before when I was Abraham. I've been here before when I was Aaron. I've been here before when I was Jesus. I've been here before when I was Prophet Muhammad. I've been in your courts several times. I know what you're finna do. You're doing the same thing you've been doing. My soul has been reborn over and over again, and all I do is sit back, pray, reconnect, align, and remember. And when I do, you in trouble. So the same thing goes for you. You are not to just be a lawyer. A lawyer is a minister at large, a public minister in the United States law, actually. This is why we have for our third part of class, a certificate priest of law. In order to navigate these things totally, you will have to be a priest before God. Because the law is telling you the parson, so if you look up in your state, and I have some of you look this up, there's an exemption called a parsonage exemption. Y'all need to write this down. Parsonage exemption. Parsonage. Parsonage exemption. Parsonage exemptions are for priests, mainly bishops or priest leaders who teach people or who have the administrative duties over some kind of church. So that when you want to get those property taxes off of you, and you don't want to tell them that your home is being used as a church because they're going to make you prove it, and Brother Jasupu can tell you that. And anybody else who tried to go for that exemption. If you tell them this is a church, they're going to look for it to look like a church. But if you tell them it's a parsonage, a place where a family of God lives to administrate for a church, totally different ball game. I live in a parsonage. I'm a president of a Tamazight temple. I run administration in one of my properties. Therefore, it's exempt. What about you? And can you prove it? I have class every Saturday and Sunday. And then every day of the week, I'm talking to somebody. So yeah, I'm working for God. Tax exemption. I go to the store and buy food to feed me so I can continue my ministry, because that food turns into energy for me to serve the people and God. Tax exempt. That's how that works. And that's what the law says. So read your state or county's definition of a parsonage exemption for those who own property who want to exempt it. If you have more than one property, that means that your other property needs to be a functioning education. So let's go over exemption. The law of exemption, you have to be one of three things. A charitable organization, and this you can look up IRC, Internal Revenue Code 501c3. It doesn't just stand for 501. The definition of IRC, 501c, or 501a are the laws that break down what makes you exempt. They're the same. It doesn't matter if you want to say that you have a 501 or 508c1a, or if you want, which they would call a corporate sole. It's defined the same way in IRC 501a. It doesn't matter if you call them the corporate sole. Do you have to report? Somebody don't have to say give notice. They just need notice. If you call it, so the three things is this. You're either serving the community as educational, you're serving it as charitable, or you're serving it as religious or ecclesiastical. Those are the three acts that exempt you. So, if you're not doing that, then you're just getting an exemption for selfish purposes, which they will in turn try to prove is a fraud. So this whole thing works when you're working for your community, when you're trying to unite your community, because taxes don't disappear. The rest of your community absorbs it when you apply for an exemption for property tax. It pushes the taxes up on your neighbors, which would make them mad, for one, because they're basically paying for you to live the way you're living. And then if they see you not living that way, they're going to tell on you. Why? You know damn well they don't want to pay no higher taxes. And then they also jealous that you're not paying them. Talk about nationality and exemption and exempt for life program. God is your exempt for life program. Not your nationality, not being a Native American. There's too many things to go through when you're a Native American. They want blood certificates, birth certificates, things of that nature. Serving God, they just want a certificate from the organization. That's it. You don't need no birth certificate. You don't need none of that stuff. So y'all been choosing the hard route all these years. Y'all let somebody else come in and tell you, I'm gonna give you an exempt for life program. I'm gonna sell you this. I'm gonna sell you the rest of these dreams too. Anybody want to buy some dreams? Okay, it was working for me. I got exemptions, and that's because them stores was ignorant. Them people should be fired. If I owned those companies like Walmart and they gave one of y'all an exemption, talking about some y'all honor, and there's a court order out there saying that y'all not recognized, I'm firing the hell out of some of y'all. You losing me money. Because guess who pays the taxes when you don't have to pay taxes? Who y'all think paying those taxes? Again, I'm going to tell y'all, taxes do not disappear. Somebody else has to pay them. So when you go to a corporation, they have a tax for a store. Naturally, it's the corporation's job to pay the taxes. What they do is in turn ask you to pay the taxes, unless you can prove that you shouldn't. So the corporation absorbs the taxes when you get them an exemption form, which is why they ask for a copy, so they can send to the government to show why they ain't pay those taxes. And for them to ask amnesty from the government on the taxes that you absorb as serving God or education or charitable purposes. Taxes are for corporations, but they put them on you because they figure you're a corporate citizen. I have a show I watch now on TV called Incorporated. Anybody seen Incorporated?
Yeah.
It's a show about corporations having sovereignty and having their own people in their nations and stuff like that, man. It's crazy. And I hardly watch TV like that, but when I had to watch it, something like that stands out to me in a message. So when I see a show called Incorporated, I'm like, let me see what this show is about. Like, oh, hell no. We talk about America being a corporation and run by a corporation and what it would be like. Like, hell yeah, this is how we live right now. So that was about the future. That shows about the future and the future of corporations being sovereign. As sovereign as any other government, which everybody knows America is a corporation. Most of y'all should know by research by now that the Virginia Company is what became the state of Virginia. That the Hudson Bay Company is what became the state of New York. That the Massachusetts Bay Company is what became Massachusetts State. So on and so forth. King George's Limited became the state of Georgia. Look at all 13 colonies and find out their true history. You don't gotta believe me, look it up for yourself. Look up the history of corporations. See that the first corporation came out of a Masonic lodge in 1717. The Grand Lodge of England. The first publicly traded corporation. So all y'all who keep saying Mason's got all these secrets. No, Mason ain't got no secrets. You got secrets from yourself. Mason never did nothing you can't see. You just didn't want to see it. So you go research. That's why they call it research. Somebody already searched it out. You got to look at it. Look at it again. So in this class, learn to research. In this class, research your background before you say you're something. Before you represent it in paperwork. Before you sign affidavits saying that you're Cherokee. Because affidavits are punishable by perjury. It says it on the affidavit. You're saying, I swear in the test that I believe these things. If they become a fraud and the court can prove that you knew or should have known, you're a fraud. We all allow someone to make us fraudulent in representation of what we were doing. Because they didn't follow God. And in turn, we ended up in a nation that didn't follow God and ended up doing ungodly things. Speaking of ungodly things, you know I got to throw a jab out sooner here or there, right? Anybody, y'all know what my jab finna be today? Anybody know what my jab gonna be today?
Nope.
Nobody seen the Facebook post? Nobody on this call seen the Facebook post from Asasia Muhammad.
No.
Okay, on Facebook we have a page called Honor Think Tank. If you're on Facebook, please go to Honor Think Tank. I'm going to post this for you to where Asasia Muhammad posted her.
Oh yeah.
Her court. What's it called when you block somebody from coming to see you? I know what it's called, but I'm just drawing a blank. She posted her
Peace, restraining order.
Order of protection.
order of protection and restraining order, stating that for several years she's been abused by this man who you all, and some of you are people you all know, worship to death. Call him chief and leader. I posted a post that says if the head is out of order, then the whole body is out of order. So for those women who left here, and the women kept telling the men and their husbands, something's wrong with this nation, by my woman's intuition, they were right. When they was telling you as women, this nation seems ultra masculine, is demeaning to women, they were right. Because if the head was demeaning to women, what do you think was gonna happen? On that note, to bring it back to God and positivity, before you leave, please bear with me, you all. Take a deep breath. Hold it for 3-4 seconds. Release. And to bring in God. Today is gonna be Feminine Energy Day. Today is Mother's Day. Today is the energy of creation that brings things in. That's what a feminine energy is. It absorbs. Masculine energy pushes out and pushes out work. Feminine energy takes things in. Taking in the thought and meditating is feminine energy. Acting on the thought is masculine energy. God is composed of both in balance. So let's think of this creator and the feminine and masculine forces, that wind that pushes or that breath you take in, that brings the coolness to your head. That creator put all of these creative forces in each and every one of us. All of us contain both masculine and feminine energy from our creator. From the atoms we're made of protons and electrons being masculine and feminine. And the atom can birth another atom, but we ain't got to go to science. We can just go to God. You think of God by all names you think of God by. I'm not going to say them this time. You say them. And you let that light from that God drip down into the forces in nature that God created to help you sustain in your life. You need the wind because you breathe it in. Every element out there is in you. You got iron in your blood. You got copper in your blood. You got silver in your blood. You got nitrates in your blood. You got all that stuff in you. Water is in you. These are the forces that God created, that God put into you. So why not respect that which helps you live? And you take those forces and let that drip down, that light, and connect to your ancestors. Today is Mother's Day, so let's think of the women. Can you imagine a woman when a man goes off to war in Africa? I want you to imagine your ancestors going to war in Africa, and some male is grabbing a spear or a double-headed axe or a scimitar sword. He's about to go out into war. What do you think the women are doing? The female ancestors. Some of them went out with them with the sword, with the spear. Some of them were the generals commanding in our history. So let's not forget that balance. Queen Nzinga, our ancestors, one of them. Makata, Queen of the South, is another one. The Candaces of Ethiopia are other ones. Nefertari is another one. We can keep going. But the ones who didn't go out there with the spear, what do you think they did? The same thing they did when you went to school every day. Prayed. Put their power behind your safety. Day in and day out. And when you came home, they thanked God that you came back in one piece. The power of feminine energy. Even when she's not there physically, she's there. You take that, every push of a swing, every I love you, every smile, even the mean mugs you got when you did something you weren't supposed to do, and she only mean mugged you because she knew that what you did could have endangered your life. And that's nothing that feminine energy wants but to create more life. Today is Mother's Day. For me, it's Mother's Day because it's my mom's birthday. And she passed a year and a half ago. So my message today was to talk to you all about feminine energy. It's respect and it's power. Creation. The power that you're even here breathing for is feminine energy. You cannot disrespect this manifestation and think you're not disrespecting its action and thinking that it won't come back to blow you down. Because it can be a cool breeze on a hot summer's day, or it could be a hurricane. Your choice. But these are our ancestors. These are our women. Some of them are warriors. Some of them are queens. Some of them are pharaoh, king. They're our mothers. We represent them. We love them unconditionally because they love us unconditionally. No matter what problems we have. We align with them, and they are one with God. They show God's creative force in manifestation. And with that, my brothers and sisters, we thank you, and I invoke all the feminine energy, and I invoke all the women in your lineage to keep nurturing you, to keep praying for you, because you're in a battle that you didn't choose. You were just born, and you were born with a darker hue, with a different gene, and you ran this earth before, and because of that, someone's attacking you. No matter what you think, you've been attacked. And they're still praying for you, whether they're manifested to here or whether they're in the spirit. They got your back. Remember them. Keep their love around you when you go into a courtroom or when you're researching, when you're creating the paperwork you need to create to win a court case or to keep your home or to help some other national who you see hurting. That is feminine energy. That want to nurture, that want I have to go in the courts to help you all, that's mothers. So in that, I invoke this meeting, Tamazight Temple University, and in that I also close this meeting for Tamazight Temple University. And I thank you, and I thank your ancestors, with especially to your mothers. I thank your mothers for having you, for teaching you, and everyone else connected. And I thank you all for your time. Okay, I'm in, Ashe, and any other words you all have to close. Thank you all for bearing with me. Peace. Questions, comments, concerns? Everybody good? Questions, comments, concerns?
Peace, this live. I still can't get the access genealogy. I got the website up, but it's keep asking me to try sign up for a trial for 14 days and all that.
Don't you sign up for no trial, nothing.
Right.
I just went right into it, brother. I don't know what your computer's making you do. I think most of us just went right into it.
It's well, I'm gonna say it's access. It's www.accessgenealogy.com. Right?
Is it .com or .org? Let me see. That's .com.
Okay, .com, and it's giving me it says free genealogy search.
Okay, let's go. Let me get you straight to it. Okay, listen. Access Genealogy. Genealogy is spelled Genealogy.
Wait a minute. Access GAN.
GEN.
EALLOGY. Right. .com. Right.
/ native.
Native American, right?
No, / native. / final. FINAL dash.
Right.
Rows. And I mean dash by the dash symbol, not the word. The dash symbol. Rows. ROLLS. Dot. HTM.
HTM.
That should take you directly, and I'm trying to email this out to you all. Matter of fact, let me email this to you all now, so you can just go straight to it. All right?
Gotcha.
Make it easier for y'all, but y'all supposed to be researching. I shouldn't have to do all this. That's the point of research. Copy.
But it's giving me PHP. It's giving me PHP.
Somewhere with your programming there. So be careful with your programming. Something's going on with your programming, brother. I'm going to send this link to y'all so you can just link on to it.
All right.
I'll make it easy for you, but make it easy for y'all makes things harder for me. So let me see. Compose. Anybody else fine with today's lesson? Y'all learn anything today?
Yes, sir.
Who said yes, sir?
Bashu.
What you learned, Brother Bashu, today?
Learned that I have to research this for myself.
What you learned about your nationality? What kind of Native American are you?
That I have to what kind of what?
What kind of Native American? What did you learn about your genealogical research from Aboriginal University?
Well, they said I was Choctaw because my mother's my great grandmother More MOORE was listed under the Choctaw.
What time did you come? You got in the class late, didn't you?
Huh?
You got in the class late?
No.
What's up? You still in class?
Did everybody in class remember what we learned today about the report that comes back from Jacob Maxim?
Go put me some soda. Go put some soda. What's up?
Anybody can tell us what you learned today about the reports that come back from Jacob Maxim?
It's a fraud.
It's fraud. Oh.
So, brother, even if your name, your surname seems to be on that list, that doesn't mean that it's your relative. That means you need to research to make sure that what they sent you back, don't believe what people send you back, go back and research it and see if it's true. That's what you should have learned in today's class.
I started out saying that I have to research this for myself.
Oh, okay. Now I heard that, brother.
Oh,
I was just asking you as a whole, did you catch on to what I was trying to show you all was that there was some fraud involved. When I first joined and we ran, and I was running Region 4, I asked them how they do their genealogical research. You know this cat didn't want to tell us because he couldn't. And when he found out I knew how to do research myself from the white folks college, he really didn't want to deal with it. So this is what made me start double checking. And when I started double checking, everybody who came to Region 4 or Chicago, and part of Region 4, I was like, man, I ain't found nobody who this dude said is on this list. That's provable. I found 3 people in my own research who actually matched who that's supposed to be. And then they didn't come from Shaker Mexon. They were 3 people who came to me. One is Shasta Hume in New York. One is Sister Lone in Chicago. And the other is... I directly found their actual descendants provable. On these rolls. So yes, double and triple check. What else did you all learn today? And by the way, the email is sent to you all with the link.
Peace, Chief. This is Jasir.
Peace, Brother Jasir.
One, I feel like we learned that we shouldn't be using anything associated with Arna or Ali. I got clarity on, what is necessarily needed to, trace back your family and do your genealogy so that it can hold up on this land. And the resources was, because I've been trying to look up and I just been all over the place, but the resource you gave today gave a little bit more clarity. And then if we are not able to, find our family on the roads, then we just go get our exemption through God.
Yes, sir. So that's all I'm trying to get y'all to talk about. Just know that you can get what you want and what you need, and you don't have to lie about it. You don't have to make yourself susceptible to a lawsuit or perjury. I don't want to see y'all in court. I don't have to get on the stand again when y'all should understand now. Thank you, Brother Jasir. And I also want you all to leave with this. We are now trying a new genetic testing site. Sister Monica and her mother-in-law went and got a new genetic test from this place called I got it right here. Let me put it on. I'm gonna put it on the screen for y'all, for those who stayed a little later, because I forgot to tell y'all in class. So,
Chief, this Jasir, I got one more question if I got a chance.
Go ahead.
I was talking to a couple of the nationals here in Philadelphia, Sheikh Maxim, and we were trying to find a way to get around using ARNA here in Philly, right?
Right.
So you know about the chief Native American down at Front and Market in Philadelphia?
Okay.
Chief Santamina?
Yeah, Tamina. Yeah.
At that time, the North America was identified as the Turtle Island.
Right.
So for those of us who do trace back our Native American lineage and can attach ourselves to it going forward, wouldn't it be safer for us to call the geographical area of North America by what our ancestors called it, which was Turtle Island, and not use and get away from the Aboriginal Republic of North America, because that's kind of looked upon in a bad light?
Yeah, you all can do that. I mean, there are Moors actually using Turtle Island over in Philadelphia and New York. They're using that term. So I want you to research who's using Turtle Island. And if you all decide to do that in your area, you can. Shikaku or Chicago is already a Native American name. Illinois is already a Native American name. Kankakee County is already a Native American name. We got Peoria that's Native American. So yeah, you can go off of what's already been here. This is what they did. All they did was incorporate what was already there and made it feel like it was theirs. So you can do that. But make sure that you all do that as a whole together. Those of you who want to do that.
Absolutely.
Like the people in the nationals in Manhattan, since Manhattan was named that before the white folks got there to Manhattan, they're doing the same thing. So call Chief Acme, J. Alman.
Correct.
They're doing the same thing right now with Manhattan. Okay. So yeah, I mean tribes are about local rulership, local people doing things locally. It's not about some central national headquarters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we ain't here to tell y'all what to do at all. If you find something like that worthy of something y'all should be doing, you get your group there together to do it. Your collective wills are the will of God in powerful force. If y'all willing to be that, that's what it's going to be.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
No problem, brother. Look at the screen right now. Y'all can see accessmetrics.com. First, they have a test called a First Nations test. Now, there are some ins and outs about this site, but I'm going to tell y'all something. I called Ancestry.com to ask them a question of who are your geneticists in charge? Ancestry.com's lab, because I had to research the lab because I had to go to court as an expert for Sovereign King Bank. And they were asking, okay, how do y'all verify? They asked us, how do you verify your nationality's members as Indians or Native Americans or indigenous people? So I'm like, you know what? Even if we have a test back from Ancestry.com, I had to ask them who accredits y'all to do the test. Who's your geneticist? Because I need a professional who we can summon to court to represent what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And even if some of us are on the dog's roll, just further backing from the scientific community, I was asking for. And Ancestry.com gave me an answer. What do you think the answer was?
Hey, excuse me, peace. For the person that's coughing, can you mute your phone? Because I barely can hear what Chief's saying.
What do y'all think Ancestry.com? I called the headquarters is in Utah, for those who don't know. I called headquarters at Ancestry.com, and what do y'all think they told me when I asked them who was their laboratory, who was their lead geneticist? What do you think they told me?
Peace, this live, the government?
Peace. Nope. They told me they don't know and they'll get back to me.
What?
Call them yourselves. Call Ancestry.com. Call them and ask them who is the laboratory. So they did answer me on the lab. They said they have an internal, their lab is in Utah. So they said they have their own lab. They said they don't send your samples off. They have their own lab. So I said, who's the lead geneticist in charge of looking at the results? Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. Their results are not wrong because I had more than one genetic test, and their results are pretty much the same as the other one whose lab I do know. So don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong. So, but I don't think they'd be good to call into court as a witness because if they come to court saying that stuff, it's going to look like, you know, what the hell? So, Sorry King Bay's mom got a genetic test from Acumetrics.com. They have a genetic test called a First Nations test. And so I looked at the background to Acumetrics, and I looked to see that who accredits genealogical research. So write this down. An organization called the what is it? AABB? AABB or AABA?
AABB.
AABB. Who was that? Cynthia?
Shira.
Oh, Sister Shira. You know about them?
You said it yesterday.
Oh, okay. The AABB are the accrediting authorities on genetic and blood tests. They actually have a class that they will give you if you want to take it, where you can become a genetic samples handler and reader with registered U.S. universities. It's only a 3-month class. I'm about to take it myself. But they are, this site right here, Acumetrics.com, is on the website for AABB accredited. And in this, what you can see on the page I have up, it states that the results of scientific tests could be received, could be used to receive a status card or tribal enrollment. As an industry leader in parentage, paternity, maternity testing, family relationship, and ancestral heritage testing, BioGuard Acumetrics offers a variety of DNA tests for First Nation, Metis, and Native Americans to help define if you belong to particular ethno-geographical groups. In 2016, we can also determine if you belong to any one of the 56 native tribes from Mexico. The DNA results can be used in enrollment, disenrollment, claiming social benefits, or simply for peace of mind. So y'all can read the rest of it, but they're stated that they are the lab that Native Americans send people to when they want to prove if they have the blood or not too.
Peace, Kais.
Peace.
23andme.com, they also use them, and when me and my wife uses that to do our DNA, the one that I emailed to you, that's the one that Tyrone Lewis, who works there, he's a genetic specialist, he co-signs it to say what it says is what it is.
Okay, and there's.
I had to pay an additional. I had to contact him and pay an additional $75 for him to go over it and put his signature on it.
Okay, and he has a degree in genetics?
I'm not quite sure. I do need to check that part out. But these
are questions we got to ask.
Right, I agree.
AABB is real, and they do accredit geneticists and blood work, entire universities, nations, and things of that nature.
And now the government's supposed to use them because the FDA approved. They approved them, and they use 23andme.com.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, we have choices then. So I want to look into this one right here. Because the AABB stated that I called the AABB actually to ask them questions. Like I do this is what I do. I research. They said, yeah, that they're one of ours. I said, okay, who okays you to accredit? And I need to see or find out, more research about who accredit them to be accreditors. But it's governments that have put their stamp on them. So this is a good test. They test Native American genealogy. They have a good turnaround. If you scroll down, click to order kits, it's $125 per person. They're gonna test just your Native American part and find out if you carry the haplogroups linked to Native Americans and First Nations heritage.
Peace, Chief.
And they have a quicker turnaround than Ancestry does, and they can tell you who their labs are. That's why I like them a little more. Peace.
Peace, Chief. Peace. Solution. When you get these tests done and they're accredited and we can take them and use them for different purposes, I was thinking, can we also I don't see why we wouldn't be able to, but we could put them in our trust, right? So then nobody can use that information against us
So you're
because
supposed to put it in your trust to protect it. Your
yeah, it's our
DNA,
biological
it's
material.
your fingerprint to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine, all of my DNA tests are in my trust. So if somebody takes me into jail or somebody did something to alter my DNA or if I pass and they try to do something they're supposed to be doing, my trust got to be activated. If I want an autopsy done and they try to say something crazy, my trust should be sending lawyers in saying, this is his will. He put it in this trust and you need to have this. Speaking of, I need to send you all a copy of a living will example. I need to send you all an example of a Form 56 signed right. So I'm gonna send you all those.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna send you a blank copy of a deed in trust from Tamazight for those who own property. And then we're gonna deal with that. And I think Thursday we're gonna have a call just about trust, or Tuesday, one of the two. I skipped this week for obvious reasons of my mom's birthday week and rituals I had to do in trainings. But next week, we're going to have a trust date to finish the rest of what you all need to do. The Form 56 is going to take you out of the control of Ali Muhammad, but so would your trust. Form 56 is just a quicker way to do it because some of you all are taking a longer time with your trust. You don't need the Form 56 if you put it in your trust. But the Form 56 will help you notice the IRS immediately to tell the IRS to immediately disconnect you from Sheikh Maxim, Aberdeen University, and Ali Muhammad. But do realize it's tax season as well, so they're pretty busy. But still send it in as soon as possible. So we're gonna go over that either Tuesday or Thursday. I'll figure it out after some meditation and readings, which is gonna be the best day to deliver that. And that's pretty much it for economic self-defense. This class has been a genealogy research class. This is for you to get your right background. And this company right here certifies your results.
Peace. I have a question. This is Minister Montu. Last week, you gave another DNA place, tribal DNA?
DNA tribes.
Right. What is the major difference between this one that you're speaking about, AABB, and that one?
AABB seems to say that they have more haplogroup samples than DNA tribes.
You said that last week.
Oh, you already sit down for it? No, you're still fine with DNA tribes.
Right, but it appears to me that what they do is they do a whole workup on you, whereas I thought that they just do a tribal. So
no, you have to choose the tribal. Okay, for DNA tribe, they do a tribal one. You have to choose the Native American panel. They give you a panel.
Yeah, I understand that, but that wasn't my understanding when you put the information out. I thought that they would do that specifically, but they do a general one, and then you have to make that additional selection.
Now, when I did it, they did, okay, both sites, Montu, do a general one, because they have to overall tell you your overall genealogy.
Right.
So they both do that. But then, if you choose for Accumetrics, the First Nations, then they're going to also test that. Same thing is going to happen with DNA tribes, which is DNA tribes are going to give you your general one, but then you get to choose if you want an African panel and or if you want a Native American panel. I chose the African and a Native American panel. So that's a panel of them just taking a sample of your DNA and matching it to samples of people who've been said to be Native American, majority, or those who are in African nations to find your tribes.
Right.
Tribes.
Right.
This one, Accumetrics, is just specifically dealing with Native American tribes, not Africans.
Well, I guess that would have been the one that would have been the most beneficial to me because I've done 23andMe and I've also done African ancestry. And I thought that one would be more specific, but you know, I guess I'll look at the
Call them and tell them you want them to focus on your Native American panel.
Well, I selected that, but what I was saying, that was an additional charge.
Oh, I must have called a deal when I got it. My apologies, brother. I didn't know what they do today.
Right. Well, what they're doing today is you get the general one, And then for all the additionals, it's an extra $25 or $35 per selection.
How much was the general one?
I don't even recall now. 100 and something.
Like Chief just says like 117 or 119.
Right.
Correct.
It's not so much further from the other one. I mean, 125, 140. That's the difference. But you know what? What we're gonna do is this. Let's wait. Sarvin's mom gets her results this week. So I did do a background check on both of them. The laboratory that DNA Tribe sends theirs off to is an accredited lab. They're accredited, so they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just like this other site, so I was just mentioning to you all as another avenue. You know, and of course, Peace, I heard you. Give me a second. Of course, over time, we're going to discover more things as we all do research. If it comes out that this better for us, of course, I'm going to say let's take a better route. But I'm going to wait for Sarvin's mom to get her stuff back this week. And we'll go from there. I'm just mentioning this site, so don't make a move on this site yet. I just want you all to research. So I'm bringing this up to you all to it's still teaching you research. Like, research the people you're getting the DNA test back from. Call them up. Ask them, who's your geneticist? Who's the school behind here? Or where's your lab? Are they accredited? So this is what I want to do with these, because this class was telling you, is teaching you how to challenge the knowledge that comes back, because this is what the court's going to do to you. So you want to have the case won before they can even challenge you, because you can go in there with a surety that I've already talked to the geneticist. I've already talked to the lab. I've already checked the AABB site to see that this lab is accredited. I got all my ducks in a row. I am what I am. And the people who backing it is a registered scientific community. Not only are they registered, but the United States government is the one that registered them and accredited them to accreditate. So this is what I wanted you all to learn from this. So thank you, Brother Montu, for doing your due diligence on that. And feel free to call DNA Tribes to see if their lab is still the same lab, if it's still accredited, and let us know back for class for extra credit points, or anybody on the call. Check behind whoever you're sending for this DNA to see what they're doing, who they are, what their claim to fame is, and if they're registered, accredited. Also, if you want to double check and cross-reference, what's that site called? You can check on people if they're good or bad. The report site, Better Business Bureau is one, but there's another one that directly deals with that stuff. I just looked at it today. I was looking at the good and bad of Acumetrics. Crap, what's it called?
Consumer Affairs?
No, it's another site. It's made specifically to tell you what's good and bad about a company. Oh man, I'm gonna find the email to y'all. So right now, this class for you all, because you all are dealing with law. Law deals with researching and tearing things apart and rebuilding it back together and having your best evidence in a row. So out of today's genetic class, at most what I want you to get from is just research and to have the backing to what you're saying, scientifically or through God or both. If you use the lab,
one question before we go.
Peace. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Brother Chief Dragonfly. On these sites, do they do, like when we say Native American, do they do all the Americas?
I ain't telling you. I want you to read the site.
Okay then.
No disrespect, Chief. You get what I'm saying. Y'all supposed to research.
Yeah, but I'm hearing everybody talk just Native, and they're getting their things back, but then it sounds like everything is just in the United States.
No, you read the tribe. I just read it to y'all, Chief. It said Mexican, Native American, or Native American on the continent of North America. It's right on the screen right here. Let me move this thing out your way. Hold on. What is this thing doing? Move. Okay, it's not moving. Man. My computer is slow. Probably I got too many things open, and Zoom takes a lot of room. Let me see what happens.
I think you push up there. Okay, we can see it.
There it is. It says, let me go back up. I read this whole thing to y'all. That's how you be telling people to pay attention in class. As industry leader in parentage, paternity, maternity testing, family relationship, ancestral heritage testing, BioGuard Acumetrics offers a variety of DNA tests for First Nation, Metis, and Native Americans to help define if you belong to a particular ethno-geographical group. New for 2016, we can also determine if you belong to the 56 native tribes from Mexico. So they're saying the Native American First Nations are Canada and America, North America. And then they saying now they also have the 56 native tribes from Mexico. So read the site.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I just was trying to see if they deal with like South America and Canada too.
Call them. I don't know. That's your research.
All right.
You gotta come in. You gotta come into court with this, not me. So you call them. I can tell you about ancestry.com. I did some research on this company, so I got mine, but I need you to have yours. So I don't want y'all to go to court with saying Chief Standing Elk said, no, that's not first evidence, best evidence. You need to be able to say, listen, I talked to Jessica. She works in the administrative department for the genealogical research of Acumetrics. And Jessica sent me this email stating that this is the genealogist, this is this, that is that. Saying that this is what they test. She sent me a certificate saying this. This is what you need to do. So this is the homework that Sovereign's mom is going to send back to me soon on this site. Ancestry, I know they're right because when I did my African DNA, my other DNA, and my ancestry, it's still the same. It's just that I need their proof. So I'm not saying ancestry is bogus. I'm just saying I need their proof. Because I don't want to go in court blind for none of you all. Same way I went to court for Sovereign, somebody might call me one day and say, hey, you the chief. Can you come and vouch for this person? I need to know. Sovereign didn't know because he was in jail. He couldn't do his own research. He couldn't take his own test. I had to research this dude. I had to call his mom and say, would you take a test? And I had to call Monica and say, you take a test too, because I know you're Native American. Just go take the test. I already tested messages in Puerto Ricans. I already know what to come back for you. That I did. So I didn't go in there empty-handed. I went in there with a sample from Ancestry, but I think somebody did tell Monica, well, how do we know this is this? I got to ask her who asked her that, who said that. So it's up to y'all, do y'all research, whoever you're going through. All I'm saying is get the research behind them to back you. Kwabena. Brother Kwabena.
Yeah, peace, Chief.
Peace. Where you from again? You from Ghana, right?
That's right.
How you Native American again? Did Ali send you a genealogical research saying you were Native American too?
Yes.
Have your family been in America before you and
No.
came?
No.
Hey, y'all heard it from the man himself. So I didn't prompt him to say this. He's from Ghana. So, but he got something back, like y'all got something back saying he was Native American too. So how much valid? You see what I mean by law and law research and study, y'all? This is called deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning, making deductions on what's reasonable. So you can deduct that if Sister Hakima got a test back and Brother Jasil got a test back, not a test, got paperwork back from Ali, and Brother Kwabena got the same paperwork back from Ali, and all your paperwork said that y'all were all Native American. But Kwabena tells you that, dude, I'm Ghanaian, and my family's been Ghanaian since Ghana was Ghana, which Ghana's been around before the Garden of Eden, and it, it's like the outer garden. So you can deduct that, okay, his was a send-off, so what are the other two people's?
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
Peace, Brother Solution. I had a question for you because when you mentioned Monica had her test done and she knows she's Native American, that would take her out of the fraudulently using the Native American background that they're purporting. But it raises another question, and it goes into their rules and what you said, the best evidence rules. What evidence did they research? And what evidence are they using that they're saying that they're not Native American? Like what kind of testing have they done? What
They got the
proof do
BI,
they have?
they the government, so they're gonna use government testing. They're gonna use case law. They're gonna use the BIA, which belongs to them. They already go. They already know where to go. They got the centers to go against you. They're gonna say you didn't go through one of these routes that we would go through. So you will have to prove through your own route, which is why they have me stand as an expert.
Let me ask you this though: when we just poked holes in that entire theory, and you could show that these white men or these white people that are leaders that were appointed and they didn't have actual genealogy in these and tribal background other than the appointments by presidents, doesn't that just open up a can of worms for their evidence? Because it says that these groups are not based on fact.
Only if a big group or somebody with the power goes and exposes this will that happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no case law yet where somebody did this. But there is case law. Now we're dealing with best evidence rules. They got evidence of historical case law of what white is, what Native American is, what this is. They got evidence. So in order to disrupt that, like for instance, they used to say that, what was it? Fingerprinting experts were 99.9% correct. Now they're saying that's not the case. So yeah, everything can change, but a solution. This is why I told y'all in Tamazight, my 4th generation plan is to train the generations behind us to come behind us and look at our work and put the truth out. So you teach your children to discover this thing and to fight this case. Just like I just showed y'all the case of the Freedmen versus the Cherokee Nation. There's gonna have to be a big case of a group of united people to prove that. We can prove that black folks are the original Jews. We can sit there on the stand and say, hey, United Nations, I want y'all to take a genetic test of everybody over there in Israel versus our people. And we can prove today who that land belongs to. You think they're going to do that shit, or you think they're going to lose their money and their weapons to tear you off for to prove that? You can see what happened when I became an expert to help expose this, that they sent an investigator to look into my life because I'm about to rock their boat. So when you do that, you best be ready for what they're going to do. You got multi-billionaire Rothschilds and other families who made a lot of money off claiming to be Jews when they knew they're European, Zionists. And they're over there occupying land that's not theirs. So you think you're going to go on national news like Muammar Gaddafi and bust it up and live?
Not gonna happen.
You believe that? I wish you good luck with that, sir. I'm not saying I'm not going to back you. I just know the battle. You better call God, because that's what you're finna need.
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
I am trying to find.
Who is this?
I'm sorry, Shira.
Okay. I thought you were Cynthia for a second, so I didn't know.
No, I'm trying to find. You stated that Ashia posted her, I believe, police report on Facebook, but I'm not finding it.
Don't worry, I'm about to post it in a second.
Okay.
I don't know if somebody took it down or not, but you know somebody sent it to me because I'm blocked from most of them people pages for obvious reasons. But it got sent to me before it got taken down, so I would definitely send it, and then you can go research the case. But I showed y'all this case when some of y'all first came into Tamazight. When I showed y'all, I said I'm not gonna go into this, but I'm gonna show you how many child support cases and how many things this dude has had. I'm just gonna show you his name multiple times, and I left it alone. I let her put it in. It took time for God. Brother Mikael Malak, who's in class, and he might be in class right now, when Ali sent that threat to me saying that he was gonna put a curse and my whole family was gonna be dead, blah, blah, blah stuff he said.
Right.
Malak sent me a thing saying, don't say nothing back to him, brother, because the universe is gonna pay him back. Do you not know that right after Malak sent that to me, Asasia posted that thing?
Wow.
I'm like, well, there we have it then, God. I ain't gotta say nothing back to him. His own ex is about to destroy him.
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
Brother Solution. I had a question for you about research. I know that we going through the class and you giving us different techniques on how to start tracing the thread back from where we are. So I had a question for you. While you were in school and you said you took up research, legal research or research period, do you have any type of prescribed outline that they gave you or that you follow when you're doing your research? Is it different techniques other than like what we're speaking about?
Okay,
Verbally,
let
is
me help
something
you out.
written?
I'm gonna help you out.
Okay.
Look up historical research methods. That's how you study research history. Historical research methods. Legal research methods. And what was my other class? I had legal, historical, and I have legal, historical research methods. What was my other majors? What else they teach me? Research methods. Oh man, yeah, you get a bunch of classes in that stuff, especially when you're dealing with history, education, educational research methods. And them the only three I would trust. They're akin to each other, but they have slight differences. So you can actually look those up. They remain the same. Oh, and look up the scientific research method. Those are the things you learn in these, and that I learned in those college courses. How to research each one of those components. And I'm sure there's a genealogical research methods, but I'm just about to take that class with the AABB. They cost $1,300, so I'm trying to raise $1,300 to take that.
Peace. Thank you for that.
Peace. All right, everybody. I think I went through that. Again, the Facebook page for you to join is Honor Think Tank. And I'm about to go post this police order because a lot of people who've been trying to fight with me or say you just trying to destroy this brother, whatever they've been saying, I'm like, this, look, you are following. One of you all posted on a think tank. Somebody posted a post of a video from a brother from California, who was saying that he don't like the fact that people are trying to sue young Pharaoh and sue Ali Muhammad. He was talking about me, so I responded to him. Like, brother, you know why I'm suing him? Do you know that we have subpoenaed him twice in the tribal court? And he said, forget us before you speak, because he didn't research. I said, did you read the case? I put in the evidence in the case number 16-0656 in the Pennsylvania Eastern District Court, the case against Ali Muhammad. When you click on number 1, which is the original complaint, there's evidence in there. I got like 60, 70 pages of evidence. I got receipts in there of people paying him for the indigenous land investment, not receiving their money. I got emails in there back and forth from him to them, of him lying to them or saying he spent the money on something other than what they paid for, crap like that. I provide research and I provide evidence. So I told the brother, did you even read the evidence? Black folks always just talking. You are blind media, and you are no better than a gossip media paper when you don't go and read stuff and you just want to talk. And I took offense to what that brother had to say, and I answered him professionally. And I told him and the other brother, some other brother from Detroit, Django X, whatever he called himself, that was in our group, and I kicked him out. And then he tried to ask me to get back in. Then he sent me a text saying, no, I'm not on Ali's side. I'm just trying to find the truth, or I'm on your side, blah, blah, blah. But then he got on that dude's post and said, I'm with Ali, and blah, blah, blah. And that brother, Standing Up is a fraud. I said, I'm a fraud. Post your proof, punk. I do proof. Let's go proof for proof. And I started to post associate cases. I'm like, now call it a fraud. This woman is telling you she's been beaten her entire time with this man. She told you where the case is at, and she said in there that she believes he has a mental disturbance that has not been treated. She stated in there, and the cases state that he pulled guns out on her, which was found. And I got people on this call right now, Chief Dragonfly, Jasir, and a few of you all Troy, who know this to be true. Oh, Shira, I didn't know you knew too. And other people who not on my call who told me this. So you're a fallen nation leader who is abusive to women. And you telling me you believe in everything he says. And you telling me that I'm the devil for pointing out that this is not right for leadership. I never
Peace,
heard
Chief.
of Obama smacking Michelle around.
Peace,
And
Chief.
if we heard of Obama smacking Michelle around, would Obama still be president today?
No.
Peace. I'm listening.
Peace. This is Brother Solution. The complaint, is that a complaint that Asadia or Sasia, her name, I don't know
He
exactly.
posted an actual police complaint with affidavits and everything. Yes.
Okay, so now this is still in the courts, right? Like this is something that's being adjudicated as we speak.
I didn't go back and look at it yet. I'm actually about to look at the rest of it because this new injunction is newer. The New Jersey case I showed y'all already. I showed y'all that about a month ago.
Because I'm gonna research it now that you put it out there. But one thing that
out there, Sister Sasha put it out there.
well, that you brought, you made reference to it during the call.
Yep.
I put that out there not in an original sense, but you gave us a heads up of what's going on. But I would like to say this for the record, and as a part of this class, I've known the brother, and we talk about Dr. Ali, okay? And he has done some things, and he hasn't completed things on my behalf. And I know people personally that he's done different things too. Now, I was in the man's home, and I saw his wife, who he called his wife, and I believe that that's her name, because I heard her being called by her name.
Ain't she beautiful?
She's very beautiful, but the point I'm trying to make is that she didn't look bruised or beat. She didn't seem like she was scared. And I've been around a lot of women that's been abused. Some of my family members was pimps. And I know women when I have a sixth sense when I'm around women and they being attacked. And, you know, when I was in that atmosphere, the children didn't seem, because children see a lot. And children will actually hold that energy as well, even when the parents are playing some type of role. And the children were fine. So before, you know, I publicly utilize and say, if it hasn't been adjudicated yet, that he beat on this one.
Sister. Like, both of y'all here, Cheryl, you here?
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
This is Jasir from Philadelphia.
Go ahead, Jasir.
I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished, fellas. I wasn't finished.
You don't have to finish though. This is an open dialogue since you brought it up.
But you don't have to cut me off though.
No,
go ahead,
solution.
No, you don't have to cut me off. I deserve respect just like everybody else on this call.
Wait, hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second, brothers. Solution. We're adding you to a dialogue and not a monologue. Do you have a problem with a dialogue?
I don't have a problem with anything, but I wanted to finish my thought.
You can finish, but I just want to add in people who are different witnesses because this is how court works.
And I want to hear what they have to say. I just want to finish what I had to say. If I have permission to speak.
We don't need that permission. Go ahead.
No, I'm just asking because the energy, I wanted to all stay neutral like we talked about and we prayed about.
But you changed the energy. You just changed it. You just came up with a heated voice. See, now you're dealing with somebody who deals with court. You just changed the energy, my brother.
Well,
I was just bringing them in on a dialogue.
Whether the energy was changed or not, I just wanted to make my point, and then we further
are listening to you right now.
All right, peace.
I understand.
It's all peace. I just wanted to finish the thought and say that if he did in fact beat the woman, I don't condone beating on women, hitting women. I've seen my mother get beat. So the energy that you feel is something that I've dealt with. However, what I have shaped of him in my mind and the experiences that I've had, I just wanted to just put that out there that I don't know him to do this. And now that it's coming out, you know, I think that we need to definitely pray for this brother if he is in fact got mental conditions and beating on people, because it just seemed like at first he's just trying to catch up and get some bread and come up on people, you know. And I've seen that plenty in Chicago, where somebody they catch a sting and they start running something. So now it's developing into a whole nother thing. And when you mentioned that, it hit a nerve in me. So I would like to get all of the further details. And I was just saying that I'm glad you brought that up, because it sheds a whole nother light on the brother. And, you know, I'm going to immediately start praying, you know, for him and his mental condition and the things that's going on with him, because you have to be suffering to beat on a woman. You have to be suffering from something. And, you know, I just pray for that sister with, you know, the allegations that came out of it. And I just know that there's always two sides to something, and then there's God. And I believe that, you know, the evidence is going to come out and the testimonies are real, you know. And I just thank you for bringing that to the attention of the class with your research. Peace.
Peace to you, brother. I mean, I appreciate you. We're going to get the other side, because you said there's always two sides and then God. So I'm gonna step into my priest robe.
Peace.
After Brother Jasiel goes in, I'm going to come in on the spiritual outlook of this thing. But Jasiel, can I say something real quick? Just very quick. It's not about just that man or just that woman. This reflects on everybody who's ever claimed ISIS or Arna.
Yes.
Period. But Brother Jasiel, we're listening.
This is just to add to what Brother Solution was saying. I don't remember. I think you from Wisconsin, right, Brother Solution?
Peace, bro. I came to see you in Philly. Yep. We met and we built, and you did a reading for me when I was there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, if anybody don't know me, I was the local chief minister of internal operations here in Sheikh Mexim at the time. That was over 3 years ago. And I've been an Arna for going on 7 years now. And I have a lot of hands-on experience as to what's been going on here in Sheikh Mexim. All right. Now, I know you want to see the complaint and investigate it, but here in Philadelphia, you got to go to that police department and get that, because I'm sure that she put a restraining order. She went and filed a complaint with the Philadelphia Police Department first. That's not the first time. And without hearsay and without, you know, saying that I heard this from somebody else, if that was an encounter that you have with the brother, that's beautiful. Not trying to take that experience away from you, because I had plenty of those environmental experiences as well. However, there's a higher side and a lower side to everybody, and you haven't seen him go through that low rhythm like I have with my own eyes. So I've seen the switch of, you know, him having encounters with Sister Asasia with my own eyes. And when we had our fallout, because it was all public and everybody, he was putting all these emails out about the guards in Philly, and then was coming at me about, you know, some other stuff. I was there when he pulled the gun out on Sister Asasia. If you want to get technical, you want to, you know, I don't need to hear nothing. I know what the sister been through on several occasions. So the universe, I didn't need to go put that on the public and say it, like, you know, like it was just spoken upon. The universe is going to take care of him. So without a brother having to go and say it, the universe put the woman in front and said, I got to let everybody know what's going on. So as far as getting verification for that complaint that she put up, that was a complaint with the legal, you know, with the police officers in Philly. And if you want to go in, or you will have to go through the domestic relations.
It's in Collingdale. It's the Collingdale court that she put up.
Right, you would have to go to that local Delaware County court and research it from that perspective as well. But you know, I wanted to follow up that, yeah, the woman has beautiful spirits, and as a father, he probably never portrayed that image in front of his children, except for when I was there, because he was out of pocket when I was there, and he was doing what he was doing to Sister Asasia. But in that environment, everybody put on that shining armor for you to see. So I understand what you're saying. You haven't been done wrong, or you didn't see it or fear it. But I gotta say, this one time, your judgment is wrong about being able to see some people who's been abused. That's just on this one occasion. All the other times, yeah, but there's been more occasions than you have experienced in Philadelphia where I did. So I gotta not say that, I gotta look up anything, but I just wanted to, give a testimony to eyewitness accounts, opposed to, assumption. And like I said, if nobody don't know me, I was the former chief minister of protocol and internal operations in Philadelphia, and I've seen a lot of things with my own eyes.
Now,
I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you, Brother Jasir. And I was just saying what was on. Now, Brother Solution, you said there are two sides in as God. I cannot speak for God, but as one of God's priests, and there are other priests on this call. I'm gonna step in my priest robe for a second. I like what you said, Brother Solution, and what Brother Jasir said in truth of what he's seen. I like what you said, that we need to pray for the brother, and that is true. And Solution has been gifted to meet my trainer in the priesthood, who's a woman, right, Solution?
Yeah, she's now my trainer. I have to go through some things, but we have some things that we're setting up this month. So I'm gonna start my priesthood law training.
You're gonna meet me as your trainer.
Yep.
So, as a higher priest, you're gonna learn to look at things with another eye. You were right, and I said on yesterday's call, he does need to be prayed for, because there's something spiritually wrong for these things to manifest. But the sign of a person who would threaten a whole person's family, including the children, for whatever reason, is a sign of an abusive man. If you're gonna threaten somebody, you see my little girl? I got a 15-year-old teenage little girl that's got a twin brother that he threatened. He met. I took my family to meet this man as a leader. So when he sent this so-called death threat that he sent me for the second time and threatened my two children, which one of them is a female, a young one at that, that shows you right then and there. It's a big symbol. But that's just that. That kind of sickness reflects on the entirety of Honor ISIS, because it's been allowed to happen. And again, today was Mother's Day. We talked about feminine energy. We did this big prayer about feminine energy, and those mothers are still around. They're standing right here. I've already invoked your ancestors. So you really believe those mothers are sitting right here saying, yeah, this, that, and the other. Yes, he must be prayed for. And what Yeye told me, or my trainer told me, was this, or my high priestess. Don't make the man the thing that he does, because he still has some of God in him too. So that's why I said I like when you said to pray for him, because that's a piece of God still in that vessel. But we also talked about actions, the higher self and lower self, and how you can act one out or the other. We also talked about who brought the devil to any place. So you have to learn again to research. Because if you missed those signs and symbols, I'm a child. Now I'm gonna step out of the priest role. That was the part about God. Yes, we ought to pray for him. Yes, we ought to pray for better things. And if he does have a mental challenge, yes, he should be helped. But no, he should not be in anyone's leadership or anyone's home with threatening children and women or other men. That is number one. Now I'm gonna step out the priest role and go to my hood role. My stepfather beat my mom. My mama got 7 boys, 2 girls, so you know we called him when we got older and beat his ass. And she had to save his life. So, do I know the signs of abused children and that they can be hidden? Yes, I do. My school didn't know I was watching that shit happen. Yes, people can mask those things, but it's up to you. Now, after that, when I grew up and became a teenage mentor at the age of 18, 19, I've been a mentor of youth for 20 years, and I've been trained on watching for those signs of those things. So you got the 5 different breakdowns, the 5 different phenotypes of, well, not phenotype, the 5 different character types of abused children and abused family and the symbols of an abused home that you get trained in and trained on. When you go through your priesthood training, you're going to learn these things on how to read the spirit of people. I can tell you what I did witness when I went to last year's summit, when he stepped down. They was into it at the summit. Who was at the summit on this call last year other than me? You can see these things, bro. They are obvious. Chief Amir, if he was on the call, Chief Amir would come in and tell you what's what. Jasir just told you what he saw in his years. I saw this stuff last year. And the guards had to usher her out till she calmed down. So I'm not gonna say it's one way neither, brother Solution, because there's 2 sides of the story. And from what I've seen, they both fight each other. And if fights happen in relationships, I'm not gonna sit here and not be a fairer person to say that fights don't go back and forth. And I'm not gonna say that there've never been lies told about a man neither. But the details in this report are worth you reading. Because again, had this been Michelle Obama and Barack, this man claims to be the chief of an entire nation. Had this been Michelle and Barack, or Putin and his wife, some heads would be rolling somewhere. All President Clinton did was got what they call fellatio, and his head was rolling. But over that. So imagine if somebody gets hit and they describe guns being pulled out on them from a self-proclaimed karate master. Number one, why is a self-proclaimed karate master pulling out guns on a woman? That's a woman he loved at that. That's one big question. I feel for those children regardless, because these two are fighting each other on Facebook. She's not the only one that posted something. He posted something about her and some lesbian affair stuff and all kinds of stuff too. And some J Electronica stuff and all kinds of crap. And he's been posting these things for years. Posting on Facebook, my wife stole my books and sold them. I'm not with her. This, that, and the other. Things that are not becoming of any leader. You think I don't have issues in my life with some woman here or there? You ain't gonna see me posting it. That's an issue in itself.
That's right.
You don't do that. Especially if you call yourself somebody's leader. So his leadership is highly questioned. Not just of honor ISIS, but as a man. As a head of a family. And if you do the same shit, I'm gonna question you too.
Ashe.
And I'm not gonna stand for it. And I hope the Nation of Islam comes out and protects her, because she is MGT. And I've heard they have come out and said some words before. So this is an issue. And if we are a nation, this is a national issue. Pulling out guns on people? Young children are in danger when a man pulls out a gun in the home. Jasir was in danger when the gun got pulled out in the home. What kind of person does that? I don't pull my guns out on people. I take my family to the range with me. Bows and arrows, guns, all. Daughter too. I wish somebody would. That's why I laugh when he threatened my family. I'm like, dude, you come to this house or any place we're at, you got a whole family with some children that's gonna be bucking at you. And you're gonna be thinking to yourself, what kind of family did I run up on? The kind that sticks together. And that should be all of us. But we should not draw our guns on each other when there's a bigger enemy out there who's been trying to kill us with their food, their education, kill us spiritually, gave us their religion, they images God as white. They try to kill us every day. How the hell we call ourselves working on a nation, or working on our spirit, working on anything when we're attacking each other, especially in the home? Come on, bro. I ain't defending that man for shit. For not a thing. You can't get a woman in my life that's gonna tell you I upped anything on her or did anything like that. Sorry. Or maybe not. So I'm not defending that. I don't care if I've been in your home or you didn't show me whatever. If somebody brings that up, I'm gonna take it seriously. So when I was a dean or a trainer of teachers at a school, if that's what happened, we'd be all over in your shit. Investigating. What is going on? Why is the accusation made? We got to investigate because it'll be our fault if it happens again, or if that woman ends up dead, or if that man ends up dead. So as a nation, why are we less or not as good as the American government? Why aren't we investigating and making sure we taking down somebody who is, if it's been done, or if she's the one doing the abuse, then she needs to be dealt with too. Not put your hands, you don't put your hands on people who abuse people to show them a lesson. Unless they go to jail, that's the jail rule. But on the outside, yeah, you work on their spirit. So as a priest, I put my robe back on. We supposed to work on their spirit, pray for them, do spirit work to improve their spirit. Yes. So we should do that, and I applaud Brother Solution for bringing that up. But we should not exonerate life-threatening situations either, or put any more of our feminine energy or our women through these things. I've had to help women change their social security number because some man was hunting them down. This is what I do. For free. I ain't charge her nothing. And I got that woman a job. Because she ran from Dallas, Texas to Chicago to get away from this man who was hunting her down, messing with her life. So I went and helped her change her stuff, helped her get her stuff out of there, helped her get a new job, new identity, and now she's remarried and she's happy. That's the job of a nation. People join nations for protection, benefits of unity, and social contracting. Our nation, under that person, does not have those things. What it does have is Facebook posts about this man's wife and her personal business or things that are made up. Lesbian affairs that she said ain't happening. Affairs with men that she says is not happening like that. Her putting out his business back because she feels attacked on the same social media. We are embarrassed. Honor is an embarrassment at this point when you see shit like that. That is embarrassing. That's how I feel. I apologize, y'all.
I appreciate you elaborating on that, Chief and Brother Jashir, because this is the first I'm hearing about it, and I am concerned. That's why I said I want to do research. I wasn't protecting the brother at all, because I don't know him. I just told him my experience. Now, for those who have had more experience with him, obviously, you know, you judge a tree by the fruit it bears is what I know. And if you haven't had experience with somebody, you know, you can't vouch for them. But I did put it out there because that was my only experience. But as you did say, Brother Jasir, you know, my impression of what I saw, it could have been a great show. We can all be deceived in any capacity. It's just what you do with the deception and the fraud and how you conquer it, because it's all a process to progress.
You know what, Solution? That's why I was saying I agree with you. You're learning from class. Because regardless, I always say, don't believe nothing I say, research it yourself. So I can only applaud you on that, brother. But when you get done with your research, come let us know you agree with us. So that's all I'm saying. Do what you got to do and do your research. By all means, sir, do that. When you get done, let us know. And we
Peace, I will.
we're not going to, I know we agree on one thing. We're not going to do none of that stuff.
Oh, no.
That's why we must find our way out of, who wants to be associated with a name? Let's say both of them lying, right? But we still claiming Arnold, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Even if both of them lying, we still look crazy. We look crazy. The head, Obama and Michelle is on Facebook putting each other out there like that. And they should still be leaders? Even if it ain't true and no list got passed, nobody who does that should be leaders. Don't put on social media when you know you're seen as a head of a medical facility or a head of a school or a head of this. You don't do that. I know you get fired if we seen it. When I'm your boss, that comes across my desk, oh, we on your investigation right then and there. That's all I'm telling you.
Peace, Chief. It's Brother Solution. I remember when I went to see Brother Jasir down in Philly, and I spent like $1,300 with this man. I was down there for like 4 or 5 days. He didn't even see me. So he sent me over to the brother, and I was questioning everything. Everything that I was doing at that point was questioning, you know, why is this going like this? And other people in Wisconsin that know me personally, I didn't have really anything good to say about the brother because he wasn't proving anything. And the approach of doing your research and the premise of this class, I respect it on a whole nother level, and that's why I'm a part of it personally. But when I met the brother Jasir, immediately after I left, it was some turmoil, and I guess brother Jasir had challenged, and he can attest to this, he had challenged Ali in something that was going on, and because of that challenge, he was like ostracized from the nation publicly. He was humiliated on the line and talked about. So I tried to connect with Brother Jasir after that through his email, and it was to no avail. So, you know, I understand that it's good that we all collectively are rebounding and reconnecting, you know, through all of this trauma. You know, but for me, it's all good because it just adds to my journey, and it makes it that much more pleasurable because I'm enjoying the process of getting to know who I am, and so that I can help a lot of people that are struggling with the same processes so that they can figure it out a little bit more effectively with my help. You know, peace and blessings to everybody on the line.
Peace and blessings to you, Brother Solution, and we appreciate you. I'm going to say this and I'll be done with that subject. Any man or woman that is supportive to a man or male who is putting his wife out there like that on Facebook, accused of upping guns, who was put on Facebook for threatening yet another man in his family, and it's not just me he threatened. He threatened Brother Malik, Brother Jasir, and a few other brothers. And anybody who supports that is a fucking coward. And I don't believe in him, and I don't want nothing to do with him.
Ashe.
I go on a record as saying that. And that's why I laugh at these cowards when they throw their little coward threats. I ain't a woman you can pull a gun out on. And you know this, Solution. I'm from Chicago. Don't you pull a gun out on me. Because I would defend myself, and I believe in self-defense to its fullest part of nature. My priestly self is not supposed to say that, but sometimes things happen. That lower self might have to protect me. So with that being said, I live in the balance. I deal with the darkness and the light. And so if you come for that darkness, you get the darkness. Because inside the darkness is another light. Whether you understand that or not. So there's a lot of problems in honor right now. And that last issue that she posted is a big problem. Because you think he just looked like, imagine if I was on that court stand, Brother Solution, and they had brought this up. So you in this nation that calls yourself Native Americans, and your leader is on Facebook being said to have did this, that, and the other. Oh, I'd have been like, shit. What are you saying? Yeah, that's a real nation. Yeah, you know, women get beat in our nation sometimes, and you know, people in our nation up guns. Do you believe the court's gonna be like, oh, he's the only one to act like that? Or do you don't think they're gonna think we just some rogue group of a cult of people who do shit like that? If your head is doing it, what makes you think the body ain't doing it? Or as I quoted, if your head is out of order, then your whole damn body's out of order.
A nation of heathens.
I agree on all fronts.
So we have to cure these, separate ourselves, as I've done in court, from these things. They are detrimental to our health as a people. I'm not with that. I'm not a part of that. He is no leader of mine. And his cabinet, I know people I follow because they could have stepped in to do stuff. Jasir actually got in trouble for stepping in to do right. He actually was a cabinet member that did step up and got ostracized. So this is why I still, when everybody keeps asking me, why you still fighting the whole thing and why you be fighting with dude, because you can't let the devil just sit in your ark. Noah sent out 2 birds from the ark. He sent out a dove, and he sent out a raven. The raven never came back. It's an interesting meaning to that story. And my Masons should understand the meaning. My priests definitely better understand the meaning. So with that being said, this is an ark. All of us are in it. Our children are in it. Everything's in it. If you keep the raven inside with you, what do you have in that ark with you? The whole ark is infested if you keep it in there. So if you're not fighting to get it out, you're part of the problem. So that's just me. I could be wrong. Everybody okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm finna finish servicing my mom, who's my new ancestor and my new link to my other feminine energy. She's the one that carries my message to God because she's closer to God than I am. So I'm going to finish with her birthday and sing her happy birthday with my family, where nobody's going to up a gun. Nobody's going to accuse anybody of having lesbian affairs. We're not going to post anything on Facebook. And I'm not by far a perfect man at all. But I mean to be a good man. And I work on it persistently and consistently. And I mean to be better to the women in our society as a whole and in the world because they need it and they deserve it. And they're the ones that support and pray for us. So why don't we do the same for them? So I would pray for Sister Asasia today, her children, and for the healing of Ali, and for the healing of Anna, Isis, and for the healing of those who allow these things to keep going on, and for the healing of the crazy ass people who still following this dude.
I say.
I'm done. This is on y'all. Y'all silly.
Peace. This is my opportunity to sign off.
I'm about to sign off on that note myself.
Peace.
Peace, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Love you to the mothers and sisters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.